Hello, everybody. Welcome back. There's overlay gone. Welcome back. Everybody. Oh, because Maggie changed her. She turned her camera off. I've got to.
Oh, sorry.
Everybody's off. No,
I had
it's
to
fine.
pee.
This is totally fine. No worries. Welcome to SOS, episode 40 something. You belong up there.
That is Ava.
Emmy, you're over here. Hang on. This will work in time. Ollie, you're actually fine. Me too.
Yeah, look at that.
Thanks,
Just
man.
moving us
That makes
around.
no sense.
Ooh, maybe I should have got some popcorn. That's true.
Where's
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Oh, where's?
That's how I
Oh, it's 'cause
felt the
that.
last
Okay,
episode.
This is rough. Don't worry. Hang on.
Mathis has got this. I have
take
faith
the
in you,
intro. Quick,
Mathis.
somebody else do the intro.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Pod by Night. I'm passing it off to Bub.
Oh, hello. How are you doing?
What was the recap of last week?
We're pretending to be vampires.
We had some we had a pre session, a pre Elysium. Get our
Last
last
week,
words
yeah.
out. That's what we did last
really
week.
was. It was a anything you want to say to each other in case we die next week.
It was
Yeah.
a pre-party party.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that for
We
sure.
we had some heart to hearts, so I think that was that served its purpose in that Ava once again frustrated Ollie, and and then we had a heart to heart and talked it
I
out.
was so pissed he left.
I know he was. He
left
was.
the party.
Yeah, he walked away.
I do wonder, like, I know he said, like, originally, like, or he did tell Dot, or he told Dakota that, that it was like the stuff Ava was saying about the realm that we went to. I do think he was also mad because I think he thought I was gonna make Dakota say something to Damien. And I think he was actually mad about that too. He didn't say that to Dakota, but something tells me that might have been
Definitely an
Above
Ava
board.
recap.
Yeah.
Above board, it's definitely
Sorry, my
not.
mic
In
was
fact,
all low.
like when
Okay.
the step away happened, Ollie was like, "You should just go tell him. Just go tell him how
That's
you're feeling."
that's true. You did
Dakota
say
was
that.
like, how did this become about me? As usual, she's like, well, if I wanted to be with Damien, I'd be with Damien, you know?
Right. Right.
I know. I still, deep down in my heart, I wanted Dakota and Damien to have a talk before this Elysium. It's fine. It didn't happen. You know,
Well, I
like
think there's been a couple times
something
where I have
happens-
seen
Chat says
Sarah.
they can't hear you, Mike.
Still?
Dakota getting
Hello?
giddy.
Okay. Hang on. Testing.
Or you're
Hello?
very low. Give it a boost.
All right, I'll boost me some more. I just don't want to get absurd because I sound really loud in my own ears right now. Is this not
You do sound better. You sound more balanced in my ears.
okay? Well, that's all that matters. Doesn't really matter how I can just do that.
There
Okay.
you go. Yeah, take yourself down. There
What,
you go.
Other than last week was a come together heart to heart. What about the week before that? What was like the recap of the prior week?
That
Well,
was
you
when
weren't
I
gone.
was out.
Oh,
that
okay.
was
Yeah.
when we went to see Queen Ananasa.
That was okay. That was the recap of that stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, went to the Umbra and all
Yes.
that stuff.
And we went
Yes.
to we went to Matthew's.
Yeah, everything.
his door. He went to his door.
His door.
Yes.
Well, it was his door until it peeled away and like paint and was something else.
I love
Yeah.
anytime real RP recap happens. Like Dakota was like, I'm so sorry you did what while I was gone?
Oh,
And
yeah.
everybody's like, yeah, so we did this crazy thing. The explanation is just in character is always the best. So you
Yeah.
can go watch it.
How do you make
Yeah.
that sound digestible in that way? You know, like how do you
You
make?
know, that's why Dakota was like,
I watched Reality Shatter
Well,
a
and
couple
everyone
times
had their own
actually.
opinion of it because, like, Emmy's description of it is very different
Yes.
than everyone else's.
It is. Everybody kind of had their
Yeah.
own little description of it. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm all good. Screens are fixed.
Do me a favor and check your OBS levels for your audio because you may have inadvertently, with an update, it may have dropped your personal
dropped your
audio level.
personal audio, your input.
Yeah,
no,
check your
and
decibel.
it's reading as borderline red
Huh.
for my own personal
Well,
microphone.
so-
So
That's
Sure.
why in chat, if he's low, turn your volume up.
let me see if maybe Zoom is doing
And then we're
something.
just
No, I don't-
ripping
I
it
don't-
right
Yeah,
away,
check
though.
and see if Zoom is
Well, but I'm not
compressing
coming
you. But
through Zoom
Correct,
for
you're
chat.
right, you're
So
right.
yeah,
correct.
No.
yeah, I'm like on the verge of
You-
hitting red. So I'm
you
not
sound
sure.
good. Yeah, I'm listening.
You sound good to me.
Okay.
But
Sounds
sorry,
fine.
To the
gang.
stream.
All right, cool. Yeah,
The rest of us will just talk really quiet so that Mathis sounds balanced.
I'm gonna hate to spoil it for whoever can't hear anymore. Time is ever marching. You're probably getting old. you know, you start losing some of your fat.
Wow,
Trust me, I'm
Mathis.
middle-aged. You know, it happens.
We just
you know,
got a
so-
hype train. The
No.
least you can do is
Oh,
compliment
see,
I
them.
don't keep chat open. I have no idea. Take your money back quickly. I'm insulting you instead. All
That's
right.
how it works.
Is there anything else we want to talk about or announce before we move into the show? We've got everybody together. It's very exciting for this week. I'm eager to jump in. Obviously, you guys want to support us the usual, patreon.com/podbynight. Check out the VODs over at youtube.com/roll for it. Join our Discord, which is totally free. Is there a link in the Twitch chat that pops up? for our
Oh yeah,
Discord?
I can drop those. Yeah, look.
You'll find it
Yeah.
out there. I trust you.
I got it right
I
there.
trust
Look,
everybody.
look, I got you.
Yeah, you're
There's
good.
our Patreon one. I'm on this.
Perfect.
And look, they can tip today.
Hey, excellent. All right. Then without further ado, let's...
Oh, Mathis, we
yeah?
should just let everybody know due to schedules and conventions, things are a little wonky right now.
Oh,
So
big
whether
time.
it's the podcast or the stream, please be patient with us. We're doing our best to do makeup content, but things are
yeah.
just a little strange right now. So if we have to take a week off, just know it's because we can't get everybody on a screen
We're
together. So.
dead middle of con season. It's
I'm going back to back this Saturday, San Diego Comic Con, or like next Saturday, San Diego, and then Gen Con. So
Like,
sorry guys,
three
Ava
of-
will be gone.
three of you work in industries where your companies require you to go to conventions a lot of the
Yeah.
time. So like, it's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry. It's not going to like stop the show. We'll
Pain.
continue when we can.
Yeah.
All right. Without further ado, then let's go ahead and set the scene, rein this chaos in, and find out what our coterie is up to on this night of Elysium. And we're brought in with a familiar voice, one that brings comfort and nostalgia. That of Grant stepping out of the bathroom, looking down at what he thinks is a nice suit, and he kind of throws his arms out in a Beetlejuice sort of fashion, is just like, so, do I look good? As the rest of the coterie, who's all here, is congregating early in the evening, I imagine, to meet with the minds one last time before, in about an hour, your ride will arrive to pick you up and take you to Elysium.
Does he look good, Mathis?
Yeah, for Grant, he looks, pretty good. The suit is tailored to him, thanks to Ollie. Like,
Oh, right. Okay,
Right.
this is the date suit.
but it's
He's
like
wearing
you
the same
still,
suit?
yeah, it's the only suit he has. So,
Okay.
it's like, he's still Grant underneath the suit. So you take it however you want. I'm not going to tell you
You
what.
look fabulous.
Thank you. I think, actually, like you're 200 or something. Yes. See, she has taste.
Yes, you look great, Grant. You're ready to knock him dead.
Why'd you get all dressed up?
We're going to your big vampire party.
Dakota kind of makes eyes at Ava and Ollie like she's kind of picking on him a little bit. She's like, nobody dresses up for Elysium,
Is
Grant.
Ava and Ollie
Ava
dressed
is
up?
Ava's absolutely dressed to the nines.
Waist dressed to the nines.
He goes, all right. I
No,
guess
you look fine. You look
Thanks.
fine. Don't let her razz you on your big night.
Hey, you're trying to riz me. I've
Overdressed.
heard that before.
A Riz? Who's Riz?
That's what Ollie just said. You're trying to riz me.
Raz. It's a little. I assure you, it's different.
Okay.
What's Raz?
Never. No, never mind. Never mind. It's okay.
How old are you?
Just go pull the car around, Grant.
I'm not driving.
Who's driving?
Okay. Dad'll go get the car because baby is afraid to touch the steering wheel.
Are you both just have amnesia? Didn't you tell me your big fancy guy who you work with is sending a ride to pick you up?
It's true. Jackson is going to give us a ride. I think he likes us.
He told us he's
shoot,
give us
forgot
a
about
car. Are we sure that we're gonna have a driver?
I swear to God, if I'm driving, I'm not going.
I mean, you're
think-
dressed like a chauffeur.
It's
And you
It's-
see just rage rising Grant, and he just bites his tongue and just
Blacks and whites look good. It's great first impression. Don't sweat it.
Does he,
Okay.
does he have a bow tie or a regular tie?
Oh God!
Was
I think
the
it was a
suit-
bow tie.
It was a bow tie?
Yeah.
You know, if you end up being a gangrel, you're gonna have to.
you have to
Dress the
rip
part.
it and make it all scraggly for the part, you know.
Your first assignment will be to burn that suit.
The one thing you all need is somebody like me. Charisma, charm.
Body sweat. Yeah.
Oh, they got that in spades already, all right? Have you seen, he points to Dakota, if she could sweat, she'd be sweating 24/7.
Why am I the sweaty one?
Because you're the only gangrel I know.
Why are gangrels sweaty?
Why are gangrels sweaty?
There's a lot of running and shifting. I imagine.
Yeah,
it's
you know,
There'd be
that's
some
valid.
perspiration there if that was the case.
Well, fortunately, we don't have to worry about sweating.
It's true. We don't.
All right. Well, I'm going to enter the bathroom, piss one more time, and then I'm hoping the ride will be here. I'll be back. And he wanders off to the bathroom.
The dress for the occasion tonight is actually one that I hope this isn't weird, but I was inspired by a previous Ventru friend of ours, Camille Delanoir. And so I bought a dress that looks a lot like hers. So
are you wearing it this very moment?
Yes, Ava is wearing it. It's like one of those like very like a low cut dress that
Ava,
has like
make
a
me
long black.
composure resolve check.
Oh no! Maybe I shouldn't have planned this.
Composure resolve check.
Oh no, she lives inside of me. Hold on.
You did eat her, didn't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
two of my hunger dice.
Remember to call your rolls today because we can't see them on
Yeah.
screen,
Oh, yeah.
everybody.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
call it.
My
So, you messy
crits were both
criticals.
on the hunger dice.
You messy critical. You catch yourself as you're mid doing it, but you notice the rest of you notice the minute she kind of points out and she stands and like kind of gestures to address, she actually completely holds herself differently. Her posture is a lot more straight. The way she kind of keeps just looking at her brings memories of Camille. And as you look down to yourself, Ava, you realize for a minute, oh fuck, like you're holding yourself just in a way you've never done it before, and it was completely without you realizing it. With the critical, you were able to catch yourself doing it.
Well, that was interesting. Yes.
Is everybody gonna be weird tonight?
No.
I think you also look lovely.
Yeah, it's got a lot of sequence.
Yes. Well,
It's very shiny.
have to be shiny for Elysium to stand out.
I look at Ollie.
It and like rubbing it on her face.
I'm
look
really
at
glad
Ollie and
everybody's
me.
got to know my one suit that I've just tried to keep well taken care of.
I don't own a suit, so I'm a pair of leather pants and boots and
can't
maybe like a
wear-
nice leather. I can sew.
You can't wear the same outfit to an Elysium twice. That's embarrassing.
Who said this is the same outfit?
I
wanted-
I thought you said it was the same.
I don't know. I just didn't
Ollie's
buy
is the same.
sequins.
But that's all right, Ollie. You're
What's-
allowed.
Wait, you have to buy a new suit every time? Who says that?
I mean, we're
Corridor. That's who.
kindred. We should be doing that. We have the resources and power to wear multiple things.
I wear multiple things. I own 2 pair of pants and 4 shirts.
Oh my god.
It's less about how you carry it. It's all about how you carry yourself, less about what you're wearing. Look, you're both smoke shows. All right, don't sweat it. Don't worry about it. Even you, Emmy, you're a little stunner. All right, let's.
I love my dress. And she like twirls around.
What is Emmy wearing?
Like straighten the bow.
I think she's wearing like a really fluffy, like you think of those like Lolita dresses with like ruffles and extra bows on it and stuff like that, with matching bows in her hair.
Is anybody wearing something that they normally wouldn't? Like, what is Dakota wearing? I mean, what she usually wears to Elysium?
It's nicer. Like there's no holes or patches. It doesn't smell bad. It doesn't look like she bought it at Army Navy surplus. She's in like a nice pair of like tight leather pants and probably like what we would call like a bodysuit. So it's like a really tight fitted top. And then she's got like a nice leather jacket, like maybe a leather bomber or something over top of it. Something you can wash the blood out of easy.
Yeah. So as you're all, is there any conversation you'd like to have prior to us moving on to Elysium? I guess that's what I'm kind of leaving this moment open for.
So we're going to act normal when we get there.
Yes, of course we are.
Emmy's arrival is the cue.
So, okay. And so Emmy is arriving separately. It's the 3 of us are going to arrive as us, the coterie, the loud ones. And then Emmy is going to arrive afterward. Correct? Okay. Yeah, then that's all.
there
Is
nerves?
Grant-
is like
is-
nerves like running through? Is anybody in the coterie nervous about tonight at all, or
Look,
Excited.
if shit gets
Emmy
bad,
is thrilled.
find a gang girl and hide behind them. I told them that y'all's lives were important, and if they die, if you die, they're in trouble. So
Great. Is Grant is coming with us? I assume, like arriving with us also. Just making sure. I mean, yeah, we're not gonna leave him by himself. God.
Hey, something I've just not been so sure about, right? Like, we know that the health of the Camarilla is based entirely upon some of the outside axes that are flowing. So, like, we know that there's going to be an Anarch thing. Are we expecting Anarch to die tonight?
oh hell yes. In fact, I've
100%.
given yeah, absolutely. That's the goal.
That
Less
doesn't
Anarchs.
really reinforce the Anarch experience inside of Chicago. If anything, it's just going to weaken them.
Correct.
All right.
You don't
all
expect
right.
a ton of anarchs to die. Ideally, minimal anarch die. But there's likely going to be a casualty or two.
Look, let's be real. You think they're going to send their best fighters? You think they're going to send the anarchs they don't or they want to die? They're going to make sure that the people that are sent, they are disposable.
I know, man, but that just forgive me for saying it, but it just feels very Sabbat.
Well, you don't have to kill one.
No, I'm going to try not to, but I'm going to
Well-
defend the shit out of myself.
There you go. You focus on Ollie and let the gang girl kill the anarch because I promised them blood tonight.
All right. All right.
Also, if Rudy is there, he's mine. Okay.
You mean talking, right? The talking.
Yes, absolutely. A
Okay.
good conversation.
I have a feeling that if Rudy wanted to, we would just all be his. We wouldn't have much of a say in the matter.
Probably.
That might be true,
Can certainly try.
but it won't stop me from getting my 10 minutes.
You got it.
All right.
A tense, probably silence, maybe even lingers for a beat or two before it's broken.
Where's the car?
Before it's broken by a light knock at the back door.
I'll answer.
As you walk over and answer the door and you swing it open, you do not see a familiar face, but a pleasant one nonetheless. That of a middle-aged man who's wearing a suit not too far off from that of Grant, with a pleasant smile on his face, and he says, "Mr. Hopkins, your ride has arrived, and I, your driver." And he looks kind of past you to see if there's more, as he seems to be expecting more than just you to be coming along.
Don't worry, we got a gaggle. It's fine.
And as you're shouting for Grant, Grant comes running out of the bathroom in a hurry. And as he does so, you may make me a wits awareness as he like runs out. "Sorry, I didn't realize the ride was here." And he's like running by you.
All of us.
What is
make
he
it to where-
doing?
Yeah, you're welcome to. It's not something that you don't do. Like it's not a big.
I got
thing.
2
Same.
on
Same.
my roll.
Nine.
Wow.
Emmy,
Jeez,
Emmy
that's-
critted as well. So
Yeah, messy.
A messy 9 critical.
Yeah.
let's for Emmy. Yeah, his flies down. That's all I was really at. See if anybody noticed his fly.
Messy
He's running out
Grant.
of-
Actually, I mean, we'll just go over there and zip it up.
Okay, yeah.
She
He's like
would. I
running
was
by,
like,
and as he gets to the
would
door,
she say it or would she do it? I think she just do it.
and she'd be like, oh God, I'm not like that. No. And he looks around. He's like, no, thank you,
Your
Emmy.
zipper's undone.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Thank you for keeping an eye on it. I guess your eye level to. I don't want to think about it anyway. And he, like Grant looks to Ollie like. for
Oh,
him to
look, a
just-
car. Let's go there
Yeah,
instead
yeah.
of talking about this.
And as you walk out, what were you gonna say? Sorry, Dakota.
This person that picked us up.
Not a
It's-
familiar face. No.
Great. I want to note him. I want to note the car. I want to note the tag. I'll go a long way around to open the door for Ava.
He walks you over to a vintage Cadillac Fleetwood. If you want a very specific idea of what that is, you can take a
What
look
year?
What year?
like the 67, like mid 60 era.
Oh,
So the
okay.
longer, more
All right, so the
like,
box.
yeah, like the big
Yeah.
boxy one, but like polished and kept it looks brand new. The windows have been
How does
replaced.
he keep this?
The windows have been replaced with a bulletproof tinted windows in its stead. And it drives around plateless. You do not see any plates on it, front or back. You open the door for Dakota, and there's plenty of room for all of you, but somebody will have to take the passenger seat next to the driver.
I don't
Grant-
get in, but I wave at them goodbye.
Grant will
I-
if you don't. Like, if you don't,
I
Grant
make
will.
Grant get in the front seat.
Oh, shotgun, hell yes! And he walks over and sits his ass in it. As he sits, you can hear the leather squeak under his weight, and he kind of moves around a little bit and trying to find his comfort. It's like as the leather's just squeaking around, and the rest of you pile in. It's a nice fucking vehicle, and as you are all kind of put in, doors shut. It's not like locked or anything like that. There's no ominous lock. The driver gently presses down on the gas, and you begin making your journey toward the center of town, where Elysium is to take place. Is there any? Not really. There's nothing really, unless you want to talk to the driver for any reason or say anything to Grant specifically. I imagine the ride is relatively silent.
Emmy's riding separately.
Right. Emmy stepped away, so it's just the three of them in the back seat. So Emmy, a different ride would come for you, probably only about 30 minutes or so later. A much more dingy, less opulent ride, just like an everyday Toyota, like that just picks you up with a known name that you would have been given from the Anarch side, and you would be brought out to where their staging ground is for the moment. For the rest of them, however, the ride is relatively quiet. Grant even seems to realize as the ride continues, things seem to be settling into how real this is getting, as his own chatter and his own babbling completely ceases maybe 5 or 10 minutes into the ride itself, and he is just...
Is he sweating?
Oh, you can smell it. All three of you could smell it if you wanted
I
to.
my
I
God.
nudge Ollie. I'm like, yo, I want some comforting words. He smells like yesterday's burger.
Hey, he has deodorant on.
I'll extend my hand up and kind of
The
like
cologne.
cuff on the
When
shoulder.
you do, he jumps a little. Oh, hey. Sorry.
Hey,
Music's
calm
excellent.
down. Calm down.
There's no
man.
music playing.
Calm down. It's not that heavy.
Yeah, no. I'm incredibly calm.
Look, how long you been a part of this life already?
Right, exactly.
Only thing that's different is if this goes down, you'll wake up and you'll actually be one of us.
Why is
You
that
scared?
so scary right now?
Yeah, why are you scared?
I don't know.
Hey,
Because it's real. It's happening. It's no longer just talk.
you wanted this, right, Grant?
This is not the time to taunt me right now.
I'm not.
He
It was
looks over
it
to
was
you
a
like he's clearly on edge.
genuine.
I'm sitting in the middle seat, no doubt.
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
definitely.
tap the driver, just kind of lean forward and tap the driver on the shoulder. Hey,
He looks back.
are you a kindred?
He shakes his head. No, but somewhere between the two. And
Alright.
you know he's warm. You can see him breathing. Probably a ghoul.
You want to be a kindred one day? You ever aspire for that?
He takes a minute though. He looks like he's gonna answer right away, but he stops and he goes, "You know, I haven't really decided yet. It's not really something I've discussed with my employer, and the thought is certainly." And then he cuts himself off and shrugs. Maybe one day.
You think you'll be afforded the opportunity?
That I'm not sure of.
What do you think it means to a ghoul to be afforded an opportunity to become a kindred? Is it a good thing or a bad thing in your eyes?
He starts. He's like, is this gonna like make its way back to like?
No, not at all. But
Then he
my
shrugs.
friend Grant here he's in a position where he was afforded a choice, and he's likely going to be a poignant part of Chicago's history if this goes down the way that it is anticipated.
He nods and he looks over to Grant and just says, "Congratulations." Grant doesn't say shit. And he looks back and he goes, "I've been working and employed long enough to have heard plenty of different stories. It's different for everybody. So my personal opinion, I guess it depends on whose wing you'll be under. If you're, I don't know how old you all are, but there was once a family my boss dealt with often, the Giovanni.
Familiar with him?
They kept things insular, shall we say, but it was a step along the path I remember hearing to becoming full-blooded, to become one of a ghoul first. And so in their eyes, it's a privilege or an honor, but there are others that I've known who have lost their lives in the addiction of being what we are." And he gestures to himself. I suppose
Last
there's good and
question. How long you been a ghoul?
bad. Over a century. And he looks
Grant?
no older than
Damn.
35.
Damn.
He's in the same position you are. And he's still not sure if he's ready to become what it is. But he's managed this far.
Life's good. I've been able to take care of my family even if they are not aware. And my
How many
employer
generations
Dennis,
have come and passed?
of my family?
Yeah.
Now we're on the third?
Okay, so great-grandkids or great-great-grandkids.
Yes.
Good. That's good. See, Grant, you got your nieces and nephews. You've got the family that you still have. And yeah, they will age beyond your time. But you'll still have blood. And you'll always still have us.
How am I supposed to feel after this conversation we just had? Because I'm not sure I feel any different.
You're just supposed to open your eyes a little bit. You just gotta relax. It's not that heavy.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever been on stage before. Oh God, that's so scary too.
Who said you were going on stage?
That's
Even
what I
if you
remember.
are-
You told me stories of your Elysiums and as everything. Didn't something real bad happen on stage that first time?
Even if you are to go on stage, there is a high likelihood that you won't be invited to talk.
Do you see true disappointment?
What, did you plan a speech?
Yeah, am I supposed to be some like political like olive
Oh my
branch between like
God.
what I'm gonna be and the government that's saying okay to it all?
You ever
Grant,
heard what they
I've
say
been
about
practicing
businesses?
it too for a really long time.
You've been in the
God
working
damn.
world for a while, right? Like, you heard what they say. If you can make it past your first 5 years in a business, there's a strong likelihood that you will continue to exist and thrive as a business, right?
Yes. Yep.
That stands the same as kindred. If you can swing your first 10 years, there's a strong chance that you will live to see a century. But
Those,
we burn out fast and we burn out bright.
I was going to say, but your particular first 10 years seemed very dangerous. Is that the norm?
I looked at each
Yes.
of them, had the eyes wide fucking hard.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I can't. And
The
then
upside is, and it looks back again to the ladies, we didn't have us guiding us. You'll have people looking out for you.
And if it means anything, Grant, it's worth it.
I always had hoped it would be.
Ava,
So stop sweating.
Eva said not a word this entire time.
What's
actually,
Ava doing?
no. Ava thinks about something when you say that. And you can see she's looking out the window in thought, but I'm not going to say it out. I don't want to stir up anything before Elysium. So
Oh, it's the perfect time to stir shit up.
Does she have
No.
the face like she's like biting the lip, like trying to hold it
yeah,
back?
yeah. It's just
I'll give Dakota a little nudge and kind of shoulder.
Also, this is literally she's like talking people up, even if sarcastically. She never misses an opportunity to do it.
What do you think, Ava?
I think she's jealous.
yeah. You know what? I'm jealous. It's that. Yes, you will have people to help you and guide you and protect you. You'll have us. That's what I had hoped for other kindred who she's not here anymore and is now a victim of the shadows. So it just makes me kind of sad when I
That
think
sounds-
about it.
That sounds like a song baby chorus. Right.
Victim of the shadows.
Write that down.
That's such a good song naming.
Well, maybe they will when all this is said and done. They may come out with a song of that.
Ava, Celia's not lost.
Hmm.
And remember, we have an entire eternity. She's already a kindred. Have a little
Yes.
faith.
Yes, sorry, not to bring a downer to the excitement that is Grant being embraced. It's
Look,
you're in good hands, Grant. That's all.
Thanks. I figured that much. I mean, I made it this far, right?
Yeah.
when all this is done, Ava, when you know who is no longer whoing, we can find Celia and bring her back into the fold. But you and I both know that some things just have to play out.
We'll see.
And her going to the shadow is not a reflection of how good of a caregiver you are.
Yeah. Sometimes it feels that way, but there wasn't really much we could have done. It just happened. So
That's right.
Hey, this was supposed to be a Grant pep talk.
yes. Yes,
Grant, it's
Grant,
gonna
sorry.
be fine if you stop
thank you.
sweating.
Thank
If you
you.
don't, nobody is gonna bite you.
Thank you.
Take it from a
Wait.
gangrel.
Come on.
No, we're the sweaty ones, right?
No, you would bite me.
I would do many things, Grant, including, nope. Biting you is only on my list for political purposes.
I feel great. Thank you so much for the pep talk. He
Perfect, good. I hope you're feeling
turns
better.
back around. Is Ava feeling, does she look notably better? Or she's still pretty nervous?
She feels better.
Okay.
Yes.
Just remember, guys, if this swings that way, he will technically have blood older than us.
I don't even want to think about that. I hate that. It just means we have to deal more. I'm so like.
I know
I'm
that
just
word
kidding.
now. I
That
know
was a
what that
joke.
means.
She's joking.
For legal
Calm down.
reasons, driver, that was a joke. Do not tell your employer. Thank you.
You
that was
see
a-
him nod. Like,
It was all in jest. It's not that heavy.
That's not confirmed. It just depends on who does it and who they let do it. And who gives a crap if he's got older blood than us? He's still gonna need us.
I just think that he's gonna have a bigger swell. You know, when the blood runs, right? When we lose control, it's somewhat moderate, but I just don't know what that means when someone with that much older blood.
That is one thing I will admit to being jealous of.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Grant whips right back around. I knew
don't
you were
like it.
jealous. I got a naked girlfriend, and I'm going to be more powerful than you.
God, here we go. It begins.
Do we really need to pep talk you then if that's your lead in for the argument?
Oh, I guess.
I don't know why her being naked has anything to do with it.
Because he still just thinks boobies is the answer.
Technically, at some point,
Yeah.
all girlfriends get naked.
I just like the word. Yeah.
Yours, actually, the clarification should be I have a girlfriend who never wears clothes.
I got a girlfriend who's perma-naked.
Oh, my God.
My God.
Don't tell anybody that at Elysium.
Oh yeah. Don't be bragging about your girlfriend.
she told me
Keep-
I can't bring her up.
Keep your girlfriend on the DL.
I know,
okay?
she told me already. Told me last night.
Saw her last
What?
night.
Wait, last night?
We're like, wait, you saw her last night?
I told Ava. Wow. Well,
You told.
yeah.
You
I
told-
said I was
oh.
going to
Yeah,
see
he
her
did
after
say
all
he
that.
was going.
Right,
Yeah.
how
I
frequently
literally
do you
told
go
all of you.
see
You guys
her?
literally, he said it last episode. None of you
did.
said shit, and then I was like, all right, and he went up. I told all of you. I did not.
Honestly, above board, we've had so much other shit going on.
Yeah.
Totally not something that would have clicked. So the fact that
Moderating and playing house for him has been a little low on priority.
So there absolutely makes sense that there was a beat, and then you're like, wait, last night. You're all like, yeah,
That's
I went
funny.
last night. You guys were all saying, like, you said it was going to be dangerous and stuff, so I wanted to go see my girlfriend, who I love so very much.
Look, if Elysium gets dangerous, the best thing you can do is leave, Grant. What's the best thing you can do?
What was that? Sorry, I was itching my arm.
Grant,
Oh
if
God.
things were to get dangerous, the
Uh-huh.
best thing you can do is leave.
Fight by your side.
Leave. Leave.
Just go hide in a curtain or under a chair or under the stage.
Just leave the building.
I didn't occur.
Leave. Go
Okay, okay.
home. Okay.
But what if one of you was really hurt?
Nope.
Not that
you
that's
are
going to
gonna
happen, driver.
leave.
Okay, leave. And he
Trust
looks-
me.
He,
We can take
says
care of
leave, but, like,
ourselves.
his eyes look to Ollie.
Listen, nothing is going to happen. These things are explicitly prohibited. Nothing can happen. It's a no powers, no weapons. Everything is copacetic.
It's the safest place you could be, Grant.
That's right.
I say very loudly so the driver can
Yeah,
hear.
yeah. Eventually, like, he'll have to, like, you guys are about to arrive and stuff. Is there any other conversation the three of you want to have with each other, or are you good? Good? Okay. So as you, like, just leave, and Grant shakes his head, fine, and he turns back to facing it, and drive continues. You're moving toward the center of Chicago. And as our camera once again kind of shifts its perspective, And now we find ourselves across the street from a rather large, opulent building, where we see the vintage Cadillac Fleetwood pull to a stop beneath a grand porte cochere of where else but the Blackstone Hotel, a historic monolithic testament to Chicago's gilded past. Its imposing limestone facade out front, etched with decades of kindred secrets in and out, gleams ominously under the city's vibrant lights in the background. It's familiar but unsettling, and the scent of aged leather and expensive perfume wafts from the cracked windows of the limousines pulling up in front of you, mixing with the faint metallic tang of anticipation. Tonight is Elysium, the grand masquerade where Chicago's kindred society gathers to flaunt their power, forge alliances, and indulge in the intoxicating dance of politics and intrigue. But tonight, the air crackles with a different energy, a palpable tension that simmers beneath the veneer of civility. As you emerge from your car, the chatter of the city begins to fade, replaced by the hushed murmurs and stifled laughter of the gathering of the elite. A red carpet, a blood-red path to the heart of the beast stretches before you as other kindred walk it to the entrance, leading to the grand entrance where two imposing figures in tailored suits stand guard, their eyes scanning the arriving guests with the predatory focus of wolves in sheep's clothing. Metal detectors are drawn through all of you, and you're patted down for any potential weaponry you may have. Are any of you carrying anything on you whatsoever?
No. And you did say that this was the Blackstone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're muted.
You're muted, Dakota.
I would have taken my knuckles off. I would have known better. So
Yeah,
that's the only weapon I usually carry.
I don't got nothing.
You're also, as you walk past them and you're, after they are ensure you have no weapons, you are always reminded once more by the guards. Their disciplines are prohibited within Elysium. Any effort to use them will have you arrested and you will be tried in front of the courts at a later date. Once it's clear you all understand and they make you verbally say you understand, you're welcome to pass through. Stepping into the lobby, you're enveloped in a symphony of muted elegance. Crystal chandeliers, their light refracted through countless facets, cast a kaleidoscope of shadows on the polished marble floors. A jazz quartet plays softly in the corner, their melodies a more seductive counterpoint to the undercurrent of unease that permeates through the air for all those in the know of what is happening tonight. A sea of faces, both beautiful and grotesque, greet you as you enter the crystal ballroom. The air is thick with the scent of expensive cologne and perfume, mingling with the aroma of aged whiskey and the metallic tang of a little bit of maybe fear, or that might just be your own concerns. The room is a decadent tableau of silk gowns, tailored suits, sparkling jewels, a testament to the wealth and power of the kindred that they have assembled in Chicago. But tonight, the smiles seem a little too tight, the laughter a little too forced. Whispers of anarchs making threats to gain ground have begun to snake through the crowd. You hear it in their conversations. Their words are sharp as knives, cutting through the pretense of camaraderie sometimes. But the prince, an elegant and regal figure, stands and calms all when she enters the room. As you walk into the ballroom, before I continue, do you all stick together? The harpy would be at the front of the front doors of the ballroom, welcoming you as the loud ones, as she looks to the three of you. And as you look into the room, you see, again, a sea of faces. Are you looking for anyone in particular? And are you looking to separate and go separate ways? Or are you all sticking together and moving in?
Is Rudy here?
You can make me a wits awareness.
Yes. Yes, I shall.
If you're just scanning the room at the moment.
Yep. I have a 4.
4? You look through the crowd, and at least as best as you can tell, you do not see Rudy here.
Hmm.
It's still early in the evening, of course, but still.
Needles and Snitch might be there. I imagine Snitch is, since it's Elysium, but
You may
still,
make me
it's
wits awareness.
worth checking.
Ava?
3 successes.
Anybody for you?
I would like to see if Nero and other Toreador are here.
Go ahead and make me your usual. You
It's
would
an
fully
Elysium.
expect it. For
Yeah.
Ollie with 3, you do see Snitch. He seems to be having conversation right now with Jackson over in where the Ventru are more or less kind of congregated together. You see Horatio Ballard over there as well. But you do not see Needles, at least not right now. But again, as a reminder, still early. There are still kindred trickling in. And for Ava, you see where the Toreador typically gather, especially since you just saw Bella walk in, the Prince Toreador herself. And you do see Nero over there mingling with other Toreador.
Do I see Portia by chance with the Toreador?
Right now, no, you do not.
Okay, noted.
So you all scanning around, you all see or don't see various different targets. As a coterie, do you stick together or do you kind of separate?
Any of the other gangrel arrived yet? Like the ones who
not
were
right now.
coming?
You are absolutely the first gangrel to arrive. I mean, you can all look to each other. It's all this conversation. It's not like talking to each other is weird, but I don't know what the three of you would want to do after you enter the main ballroom where everybody is.
Why don't we find a spot first? So we can get our seats and then separate after that.
I would like to get. Do they have like vitae being served or anything?
Absolutely,
Like,
yes.
yeah,
Yeah, of
I
course.
would get myself some vitae.
Does anybody need vitae right now? Out of curiosity,
Yeah,
I could-
like, that's a good idea.
So if you
Yeah,
grab-
yeah.
you just order 3 glasses. Somebody will bring them to you.
Yes.
And before they would walk away, they would ask, like, do you or any of your coterie mates have a particular taste? Knowing Ventru can only drink certain kinds and they're not
Certain
privy to your
types.
clans. But yeah, are you all, or is...
Non-female?
I was about to say, I think that one.
She nods. Understood.
Yeah, I need male blood.
Nods. Anyone else?
Nothing.
That one, no preferences. I too also have no particular preferences. Just something a bit more of a more exquisite taste would be great.
Male blood for any gestures to Dakota and the house special, I guess, and it would fucking walk off. I keep wanting to use server words for wine, but I don't think they would use it. So they would wander off, leaving you. Would you pull up a table? There's a couple of tables like lingering around, not really any chairs around them, more those like tall tables people stand around, place their glasses on. You would actually see somebody not too far from the quartet playing music, displaying a very small section of art, an artist that you've never seen before. It looks like they've got some cityscapes painted with some more abstract emotional stuff. And they seem to be showing it off to a couple of kindred that you may have seen. This kindred within the city themselves, kindred that would be within Chicago itself.
I lean over to Ava and I go,
I prefer to see your photography up there.
Maybe one day the prince will ask to have my art featured. I look
Yes.
forward to that day.
Me too.
Anybody? So you stay sticking together. The table, after a few moments, or just a few minutes pass, that server would return, hand Dakota the glass first, the one that's of male. The other 2, they don't specify what it is. They just hand it to you. It would be human blood, not animal blood.
Great.
And how many? It's basically a point's worth of hunger available in the glass if you want.
great,
to.
that's all I need. Okay.
I'll
So
take it.
As you sip and look around, there's a lot of mingling still. This is the part. It officially starts after, as always, the prince takes the stage and gives an opening welcome or an opening speech of some kind. Is there, again, I keep asking just because I want to make sure I don't skip anything that you guys want to do before we move plot forward. Is there anything you want to do after you have your glasses of blood? You see Elysium.
I would just make the rounds. Like I should say hey to Jackson and the sheriff. We should say a coterie welcome to Bella, like a hello.
The sheriff would be lingering
yeah.
near Bella the entire time. Damien would be basically at Bella's side. So say you could like give him a nod and stuff, but unless you want to go up, he's usually.
But
like
we should speak to. I actually tell the group after we finish our drinks.
We should speak to Bella.
Yes, we should. That is. Yes, she's the prince.
You see her
So-
right now having conversations with a couple Primogen members. Specifically, she's speaking with Sun, and not I don't think he's a Primogen member. I'll double check, but Deuceable. She's speaking with both of them at the moment. And you probably have a better chance of getting a hold of her after like the opening speech. Likely, she's probably just doing preparation stuff. You know how this goes. This is just waiting for giving Kindred an opportunity to arrive.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to interrupt her. It's more of like we should do the polite
Yes.
thing and thank the host. You know what I
Absolutely,
mean?
yes. And yeah, that is part and parcel of coming to Elysium, is going up to the prince and lauding her with thanks for all that shit. So you all 3 stick together then is the plan until at least the speech is done. And so eventually, after maybe another 20 or so minutes pass, there is a hushing, a silence that seems to overcome the people chatting as Prince Bella in her gorgeous, long, dark red gown, wearing her classic heels, takes to the stage and looks to turn to address the crowd. She doesn't have to say anything. She has a pleasant smile on. She holds herself exceptionally well, and she merely seems to be looking over at the rest of everybody, kind of just waiting for her moment to speak. And as it does so, do you, Ava, sorry, specifically Ava, I need you to give me a wits awareness, please.
Not ready for that one. Knew that was coming.
Where the fuck did I write? I wrote the shit. There it is.
I might willpower. It's only one die I can reroll.
Okay.
Well,
yeah, sorry.
I rolled 2 successes. I really am. 3 might not be enough. So I'll just keep it at the 2.
Okay. We don't notice anything out of the ordinary.
Okay.
She steps onto stage. After a few moments of murmuring, people seem to take their hushed tones and all stand at attention to when she speaks. And as she smiles pleasantly with a glass of Vitae, or no, with the thickness of it within, it's actually wine. You see wine in her glass. And she smiles. My dearest kindred, welcome to this night of revelry, of art, and she gestures to the musicians and the artists, and everybody gives a polite claps, and of passion, and she smiles. Of course, she's a Toreador. Welcome to Elysium, the beating heart of our city. As your prince, it is my pleasure to see you all gathered here, a living tapestry of our city's rich and diverse kindred society. And she once again kind of pauses with a smile, and there's some polite clapping. From the ancient wisdom of the Ventru, and she looks over to Jackson and Horatio Ballard and the rest, to the fiery spirit of the Brujah, and she looks to the rabble-rousers that are around, not real rabble-rousers, but as she perceives them to be, and the cunning of the Malkavian and more, and of course, the elegance of my fellow Toreador. And she turns to her Toreador and start, your sire's here, obviously, Ava. She's among them, but she looks at the Toreador, and they all pleasantly like smile back at her, and the usual kind of self-aggrandizement. We all are a testament to the enduring power of our blood and clans, respectively. So tonight, let us celebrate the beauty that surrounds us. Let us lose ourselves in the intoxicating melodies of our musicians, the mesmerizing movements of our dancers, the breathtaking creations of our artists. Let us revel in the exquisite taste of our finest vintages, the heady scents of our rarest perfumes, the soft touch of luxurious fabrics against our skin. And she looks to like the stuff she's wearing, because most people are blush of lifing for this. And so and for a lot of kindred, it's the only time they blush of life is when they go to Elysium, where they can indulge in the senses. And it doesn't really count as a discipline when you blush of life. It's not like breaking the rules. But let us not forget that beauty is not simply a fleeting pleasure. It is a force that can inspire, uplift, and even transform. And she kind of, again, gives a gentle gesture to her own Toreador. It is a weapon that can seduce, disarm, and ultimately conquer, but one that should and must be used for peace. And she smiles, and then actually looks over to Dakota, and obviously about to speak about the gangrel. So tonight, my friends, I am happy to welcome, under the Camarill's safety and umbrella, the gangrel. Dakota Rain, it is a pleasure to have you amongst us. And people all look to you and give you that polite clap that they've been giving everybody.
I hate attention. Yeah, Dakota suffers through it.
Too long have the Camarilla of Chicago and the gangrel been at odds. Our truce is always tenuous and fragile at best. Tonight, let this be a representation of something more. A trust that all kindred should have with each other. And again, polite clapping inserted where it belongs. How does Dakota look through this? Like, visibly, how is she doing? Is she fighting to hold back?
It's like listening to a politician who's is feeding you mistruth,
sure,
right? Like it's so highfalutin that it's just garbage, and Dakota's just grinding teeth. We're just grinding teeth at this point. I gotta make it through her speech.
Yeah. How about the other two of you, Ava and Ollie? No problems, just like
no. I'm cheery. I'm big smile on my face for Dakota, and I clap for her.
She continues. Let us embrace our own individual powers, and let us use it to forge alliances, to inspire loyalty, to achieve our ambitions, and let us never forget that in this city, the city of Chicago, The Toreador stand as guardians of beauty, but we are no less or no more than everyone here. Equals. To beauty, to passion, and to Chicago. And she raises her glass of wine that she's been holding for a toast.
I raise my very empty glass.
empty
I'm already
glass. Yeah, everybody. And she takes a sip of her wine. Now, everybody.
Follow her lead.
For the next few hour, or for the next hour or so, enjoy yourselves. I'll be amongst all of you, so please don't be shy. Come say hello. And she just gives a curt nod. And as she looks back to Damien, Damien nods, and she walks off stage, and Damien follows suit. The murmurs begin to swell back up as she is immediately kind of like swamped by people who are very clearly just looking to kiss her ass, but the usual.
That was lovely.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there just dead silence from...
Ava breaks the silence. As the two despise these pleasantries, but Ava found it quite lovely.
Look to Ollie. What is Ollie feeling?
Ollie is just kind of sitting there. It's just waiting, right? I mean, when she was sort of like lording the idea of the welcoming back, he can sense the bitterness that might be inside of Dakota at that point, but probably somewhere in the middle. I think that he might like kind of like under the table tap you on like the knee, like, this is your moment, you know, like,
Oh, gifted by the prince herself.
recognition is different in a public format. It's rare.
Well, it's the least she could do after the last Elysium and her recognition of the gangrel.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's bittersweet though.
Grant kind of like leans in. What am I supposed to do right now?
Just sit here and don't sweat.
Okay. Listen, that's like asking a mammal not to breathe.
Have some wine, damn it. Just have some wine.
He looks at his glass already empty and then looks for a server and waves him down for another glass.
For what it's worth, Grant, the expectations of you are about bagel. It's zero, sir. You just gotta relax, enjoy yourself.
He's as the waiter brings over another one, he just starts chugging the wine. And before the waiter even leaves, he's like, I'll bring over a refill. And he walks off.
Yes, thank you.
So, time passes. And this is where you want to make time to
We
go
should
see
go
Bella.
speak to her. As you so pointed out, Ollie, I have so many things to thank her for.
If you watch Bella, it does look like she's making rounds. So it's very likely she'll be around your area. Like she'll kind of come around to the table. If you want to wait, or you can approach her like the other people who are impatient and like want to be up her ass did. Not that you want to be up her ass, but people swarmed her instantly.
Oh, Bella, nothing. I will sit until she gets here.
If I see her going table to table, like Dakota's like, no, I'm not going to give her that piece of
Absolutely.
satisfaction.
Absolutely. So it takes about 30 minutes, but she does go around. And when she eventually does reach your table, she she has such a pleasant smile on her face. And she goes, I didn't know if you would arrive. And she brings her hands to her chest and she just looks happy. I'm so happy to see the loud ones here. And she grab like Ava's hands, just like, like pleasantly, like, in hers. She just kind of goes, I'm just so happy to see you.
Dakota will get up and offer her seat to Bella if Bella would like to sit.
She goes, I wish I had the time, but I have places and things to be, but I'm just happy to see the three, I almost said four of you, three of you here.
Beautiful display, Bella. The art is quite exquisite.
Thank you.
You have
Thank you.
such a way with words.
Yes.
I threw the speech together last minute, but I'm glad it was impressive. And she smiles.
We appreciate it.
It's so just like purely awkward. And Grant's like, yeah, I don't know if I met you yet. I don't know, but if I haven't, Grant. And he reaches his hand out, and she looks to his hand and looks up to him. This pleasure to meet you, Grant. And Grant lifts his hand up there for an uncomfortable amount of time before he pulls it back.
No, I don't touch her.
And she's like, well, I have other places to be. Clearly, Grant kind of grossed her out a bit. And she looks
Prince,
over to her.
As per your request, there may be other gangrel arriving this evening to introduce themselves. I hope you can make time.
You see her eyes kind of brighten. She goes, when they arrive, please bring them to me.
Happy to.
She smiles and then walks off. Very business as usual.
I imagine you hear like one Dakota Claw like eking at the wine glass. It's just like, there's no label. So it's just,
That went well.
Hey, look, you just had your first interaction with the prince and you didn't die.
And you did horribly.
That's okay. Right now, she still likes you more than me.
I mean, my first interaction with Pris didn't go great. She enslaved me for 10 years.
You'll get it. You'll figure it out. Grant.
Yeah, you're doing great,
It's
Grant.
just a matter. It's a matter of time. You'll
Cool.
figure it out.
Great. So
Yes, welcome to Kindred Society.
That's the prince. She is be all end all.
Where's right? Maybe I feel like I should
No,
ask.
don't ask. Please don't ask the question you're gonna ask.
What? You know what I'm gonna ask?
Let me guess, it's something about the king, queen, or where's the other half?
You do know me so well. Where's the
Yeah,
king?
yeah,
If we got a prince,
that's-
where's the king?
Oh my god.
Grant, unlike your fairy tale misogynistic concepts of ruling, in kindred society, a king is not necessary. There is only one.
Right, but why
And
is she
it
called
is the
princess?
It's a gender neutral term.
Oh,
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you, Ava.
I lean into Grant. The patriarchy still exists, my friend. There's a reason, even at this level, and don't let it be minced.
Emperor
might
would
be the most powerful
Emperor is
here.
like a better choice.
It might be the most powerful here, but there are those above them. even.
Oh. Well, really. What?
All
I mean,
right.
they're not called queen or king.
No, sit down.
Nope.
There's somebody
Just
above
please.
prince.
No.
Please, God, sit down and drink your wine. You're making me nervous. Just sit down.
There's no seats,
There
but he
are.
just is like.
So let's help you, okay? See all those very important people at that table? They're kind of like a council.
okay.
They
Game of Thrones has
advise.
councils. I get this.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Bella is the prince, and the council, each representing one of the clans, advises Bella on a variety of things as our prince and assures that the prince stays true to their job and word.
But there's somebody above the prince.
Technically.
Jurisdictionally, the prince has got the final say in things unless someone bigger comes through. but it's
Within the
so
city
rare.
of Chicago. And yes, the tree gets bigger
Is
at
it-
the top.
Am I gonna have to pass a test about this?
If you go to Crucius's night classes, yeah, you
Is
will
that
be tested
optional?
on
Do
You
I
that.
have
will
to
never
go?
survive. That's not even about passing. That's about survival.
Oh, God.
And you'll never make it. You don't have to take a test, but it's important to know because you should know who to respect and watch your manners around. And that group there at that table and that lovely prince who just walked by, those are the people who have your life in their hands.
Right.
Hey.
I gotta go to the bathroom. And he like looks around. Like he's like where the bathrooms are.
All that wine he drank.
He walks off. He just is like, I gotta go. You all, as he walks off, sorry, go ahead. Were you gonna say something?
I'm just waiting for him to leave.
Yeah, he
he's got his foot in the door. It's a start. I don't know if it's a strong start, but it's a start.
Look, he's doing better than all of us.
No shit. Oh my god.
Somewhere through all the conversation, at one point, the band leader takes the stage, introduces a special guest artist, renowned. Actually, Tracy, your character Ava would have heard of them. A toreador that was known for very haunting and provocative lyrics and melodies, and she'll be playing with the band tonight. Nobody that there's no super secret, there's a secret code word for her name or anything. I just don't have a name for her right now. Just to add to the atmosphere, there's things are still happening. The artist who was showing off the art has walked away, and people are just kind of wandering up to it now and looking at it and walking away. Very, very
Away.
just regular mingling.
You guys know this place? Have you heard anything about this place we're in right now?
Ava, you would be the only one. You think a toreador? Is this toreador territory? Or at least a toreador owns the hotel?
I'm quite certain it belongs to Toreador.
You don't know.
This is the Blackstone is. It's got some history here, man. This is like mobster home base. We're talking Capone ran through this place. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
big, real big. Lots of big wigs. I mean, it's first I found out that. I mean, I guess it makes sense, that there were kindred involved, but amidst the human world, this is It's like Goodfellas level shit right here. Godfather kind of thing.
It's a bit extra, isn't it?
I
It's
mean,
a Toreador Elysium. What do you want? It's
Yeah,
going to be
kinda.
extra.
No, I meant the hotel specifically. It's what's the word? Gaudy?
I mean, it's from a different time though too, right? Like this place is old. This was I don't know, probably early 1900s, like 1910s, 1920s, something like that. This place is like at least 100 years old.
Well,
Is there anybody you want to go speak with or talk to in this time of mingling? This would be an opportunity to do so.
I would make this would be when I'd go to Jackson and Cretius.
Yep,
I'm
and you
sure
would-
he's here.
Yep,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah, Cretius is there. He's not. He's with the Primogen Council a lot of the time because he's friends with a lot of the people on it. Yeah, everybody you go say hi to. Jackson is very pleasant with you and whatnot, and you get introduced properly to Horatio Ballard, who I don't know if you've ever. No, Dakota's never met.
Only Ollie has.
Oh, either Ollie, you would see him too for the first time. This man is
No,
supernaturally.
Ollie has.
Oh,
we had the
oh,
agreement
okay.
in the back of
Ollie
his car.
has, but Dakota hasn't.
Dakota
Yeah.
hasn't. Yeah, this man is supernaturally large. Like he is an enormous individual who just commands a fleet of minions around him. He has like 30 people around him at all times. He's talking to, make someplace on like a cell phone doing something, or no, they're not a cell phone, writing something down in a notebook. Another one is like running off, and he just seems very kind of occupied. But he would.
Speaking of mobsters, who's the big guy?
Oh, that's Ballard. That's I like Lena. And that's who Emmy tried to off.
Yes.
Really?
That's who
Yeah.
Emmy tried to kill and got her
That
exiled.
is
I mean,
that is
look,
a juxtaposed situation for sure. I kind of like
Ballard.
look at him and then I like think about how tiny she is.
he's, despite the fact that he's like 600 or 700 pounds, Ballard rewrites the laws of money. Like you think Jackson is wealthy? Horatio prints money. He's beyond wealthy.
So that's where his interests lie.
In money? Oh, very much.
He's the one
Very
that
much
rebooted
so.
TrekNet.
I mean, Dakota doesn't know any of that. She just likes to profile the people in this kindred society so that she can always have the leg up. And
Horatio
that
Ballard
sounds,
is like the man the billionaire you never see. The one who
So
swings
you,
power via money but tries to stay out of the public eye.
After the whole Crowley thing, right? When we moved that money through the neighborhood, I still had money, and it wasn't any of Crowley's. Yeah, we were playing with some of Jackson's and Allen's, but all that money that I got, I was bankrolled by Ballard.
Introduce me.
Sure.
Jackson introduced you when you went over there.
Oh, he did.
Yes,
Oh, okay,
yes, you would have
okay.
been introduced to Ballard by Jackson when you went over, and Horatio had taken a moment to be from dealing with like pleasant to meet you, but unlike Jackson, you can sense the like kind of almost like dismissive
Distaste,
and like
yeah.
distaste is strong, but he knows business is business, but there's still the higher blood, the high clan kind of like twang.
he still has the high clan,
He's
low
old,
clan problem.
yeah.
Okay.
So he's very busy, but he
Very
gives you
Ventru.
he's pleasant as you've ever had a Ventru other than Jackson be.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Okay. I take that. That's what I needed to know.
I mean, he kind of talked to Ollie like that too. It just like he was also knew Ollie was valuable via bankrolling him.
right. What
situation.
his business is basically.
Yep.
And probably tell to Dakota, like, unless you see a potential asset to migrate money or move people, you will likely just be a speck on his radar.
Dakota thinks that through, knowing sometimes there are things more valuable than money. And
Dakota thinks that through. Well,
But he's one of the triumvirate of the Ventru board. You got Jackson, you have
Step
Ballard,
away for 2 seconds.
and I think the other is Alan, right? Above board, like it's Alan, right? He's a part of the other
Yep.
the third.
Alan Sovereign, yep.
Yeah, Sovereign.
yeah, because he's the one who dealt in our group territory
Yeah.
Yep.
and got the comic book shop for Dakota to give Ollie.
So right now, I'm kind of entrenched in Ventru life. That's why everybody looks at me like I'm the Nazis playing above his station, because I'm in the back pocket of all of the Ventru board.
good.
Yeah. So
Why
I
don't
have
you
a
seem
card.
happier about it?
Well, it's all about favors, right? I'm just wondering when that card is going to get called. Like, I'm doing some things I have been doing some things over the last decade for Ballard in my private domicile, and you know all the things I do for Jackson. Sovereign, that card will eventually be called, right? It's more than just investing in our little wine and film business. Eventually, he's going to beckon, and we'll have to fulfill some desires. But I seem like I'm in pretty favorable states with them. Now I'm that one over there, and he points to Deuceable. That's the one I'm a little worried about.
You see him having a conversation with Sun Chi.
Why?
Because I officially put myself on his radar 4 days ago.
Is he somebody's radar you don't want to be on?
He's the face of the Chantry. They're boogeymen. They're spooky. They do all the, Saito was kind of small potatoes compared to that guy.
Dakota kind of smiles. Now that's interesting. And that's somebody she's not met. She will make sure to just introduce herself.
Oh, no, it's okay. We're well known. We are
Good.
very well known.
But isn't it polite to introduce yourself,
Of course.
especially at an Elysium?
Of course. And I should probably also, since Snitch is milling about, I should probably say hi to him too. So
Come on, Ava.
Why don't we go
You,
make
you have a
face
thing for Tremere?
and introduce yourself to Deuceable?
Yes, I met Deuceable at the last Elysium, but I would be happy to.
Perfect. You can introduce me.
Yes.
Who are you bringing her to?
Regent
Deuceable.
Deuceable.
Sure. Let me get the...
I'll go there too.
Yeah, Dakota's here to stir up shit, y'all. That's
Yeah.
all she's good for. She's just here to be like, poke, 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 poke. I'm not part of the Camarilla. Thanks to Bella. Poke, poke, poke. I'm just here to poke the bear.
You would know... Did you learn much about Deuceable, Ollie? I feel like you learned a little bit about him.
Just a little
Or
bit.
did we just talk about it off camera? I can't really remember.
It was both. It was a little bit of both.
Gotcha.
That Deuceable is the most recent addition and regent
Yep.
of the Chantry. He was at the last Elysium noted as the regent and face of
Yes.
the Chantry.
Mm-hmm.
He made
But
a
after
speech
working-
about how he wants to integrate the Tremere more into the Camarilla,
Yeah.
work with the Camarilla, because
Yep.
they've been kind of on the outs.
The other thing you learn about him, I think, Ollie, is like he
I
is...
think Snitch said that he was not trustable.
I have no... he's a Tremere. You can't trust a Tremere in general.
You can't trust your Tremere. Dakota already knows
he
that.
is
also doesn't
Snitch
trust
specifically
anybody.
said
He's like
that.
an-
yeah.
Oh.
He is like an
When we were in the
orthodox...
church, last episode
yes,
or the
yes.
previous episode, he said that to Ollie.
Oh, yeah. He's like, they only trust themselves. He's basically what you consider like an orthodox Tremere. He's about bringing the pyramid back. He wants to restructure it after a collapse. He's there to try and bring it back to the way it was, and it's a lot of work. Other than that, he seems pretty pleasant overall, but you didn't talk to him too very long. When you swing over to him, like I said, he's speaking with Sun Chi. The three of you make your way over as a coterie, and as you do so, the conversation. I imagine you wait for the conversation to wind down, probably to make your way over, but eventually you do. And with a pleasant smile, Deuceable turns to the three of you. Ah, the loud ones, correct?
That's us.
And he smiles.
And you are...
And I pretend like I don't know who he is, like he's not cool enough to have his name
He
known.
just smiles and he goes, Abraham Deuceable, recent addition and appointed head of the Chantry for the Tremere. And he extends his hand to shake yours.
I'll shake it
He shakes, smiles.
really firmly,
Sure.
Dakota Rain. I heard from my very loud coterie that you are rethinking Tremere's place in the city.
Attempting to bring back the balance it lost, yeah.
Then we have something in common.
Oh, and he looks just raises his eyebrows.
Dakota kind of looks him dead in the eyes. She says,
What do you think I'm doing with the gangrel?
Attempting... I should make it clear. My goal with the Tremere is not to ascend in power with the Camarilla. The Camarilla and the Tremere operate together as a partnership out of safety for each other and convenience. Ingratiating myself with the Camarilla and the Tremere is how it once was and should be again for the stability of not just ourselves, but the city as a whole. Is that why you're bringing the gangrel back? And he looks to you.
Yes. Balance is everything. And that means every clan needs to be represented in a way if the Camarilla is going to succeed.
He nods.
For too long, the gangrel have been treated like we are unnecessary.
While you may not believe me, so have the Tremere. We've just made ourselves so valuable they can't get rid of us.
Actually, I believe you wholeheartedly. That's why I wanted to come over and introduce myself.
He again gives you another just pleasant smile.
And Sun Chi.
Sun Chi,
Is she wearing a sundress?
Yes, probably. That's usually what she's wearing.
I hate it.
I know, but she's not like next to him. They like kind of finished.
Oh,
the
okay.
She's, like,
She walked away.
away. Yeah. Because they're not like apprentice and master. They're partners, more or less.
Oh, okay. I thought Sun Chi was nearby, so I was actually going to address
nearby,
Sun Chi,
but she's
never.
not like right next to him. You could like she's off mingling with some other Tremere not far off.
Well,
but yeah, sorry. Continue.
Then I wish you luck on your restructuring.
I have a lot of and many decades of work ahead of me, I fear, but it will be done. I won't stop until it is, or I'm dead.
Cheers to that.
And he looks to his glass that he clearly hasn't touched, and then picks it up to raise it as a cheers, and does sip from it.
Okay, great. Mine's empty.
Yeah, that's fair. He kind of
But yeah.
claps his hands together and then takes his cane and places it on the ground, and he's like, "Well, not to cut our conversation rudefully short, but I have things to deal with tonight. Business." And he looks to step away.
Otis says, of course.
As you walked, Ollie, you went off to go see Snitch, correct?
I was there for that. I just was
Okay.
giving the floor there specifically.
As he goes, I'll turn our coterie and walk, and unlike the loud ones, we will not be loud. I will whisper,
Oh, I hate to break it to him, but Sun Chi is not gonna let that happen.
Well, for his sake, I hope it does, but I think you're right.
I mean, I have much
Unfortunate.
of a leg to stand on.
I guess that's true.
Unfortunate. They used to be such a. Well, actually, Ava wouldn't know that. I wish they were more of a pillar in the Camarilla.
Well, don't fret. That is what Deucible's working on. Your dreams may be reality, Ava.
Well, if it's not too much trouble, ladies, I am going to step to see my Primogen.
Good luck.
Yes. And
Snitch
what
is,
about you, Ava? Are you gonna go see your Primogen?
that would be
Annabelle looks a little occupied, but I think I should go see the roses. Yes. What are you going to be up to, Dakota? You seem to be in a social spirit.
Social conniving, all the same to me.
What's your goal here, Dakota?
I have no goals, Ava.
All right. It's very cheeky the way you introduce yourself to Deucible.
Good.
Are you going to do that to all of the other higher ups in? Should I introduce you to Annabelle?
Only if you think she wants to meet me. Maybe
she
I can give her
does.
some fashion tips.
You know what? Maybe that's not a good idea.
Have you, Ava? Did you want to say hi to your sire at all, or no?
I actually was thinking I am going to say hi to Nero.
Yeah, absolutely. He's here for sure.
Yeah, I will head over to him.
We'll stick with Ollie first. As Ollie kind of steps away, Snitch is having a quiet conversation with somebody when you approach, and he just gestures for you to make your way over, and he gives you just a welcoming nod. Mr. Hopkins, I hope you find yourself in good spirits tonight.
As good as one can be. How are things on your end?
Good. I'm ready for tonight to be over.
Trust that you've had some things to think about that I placed upon your lap over the last few nights.
He just nods a bit.
How do you think this night is going to end? Looking out into the sea of other kindred faces. What do you think is going to happen? Think Grant's gonna? Think he's gonna finally join our side?
He takes a moment, and he looks, and he's like, "I think Grant will go wherever you tell him to."
Yeah, I would like to afford him at least an option. I think... God love her, but I think Dakota is really pushing for the gang role.
Understandably, it makes sense politically. It makes
And
sense
you know
for her
what?
own security among her own people.
I don't think it's such a bad thing. You know, the gang role, while they've been shoved out, they're still so strong together. And at least they're organized. Man, it's really hard to get any of our kind of collaborate and talk together. But I guess you don't have that problem being the prim. They always come to you.
He gives a very rare but brief, breathy chuckle. That will never change, Primogen or not.
Something's got to give, though, Snitch.
He looks to you with curious, kind of a curious glance.
Something's got to give. They've got to come out. They got to pull their head out of the ground. Can't just ostrich and hide away forever. I mean, I don't expect anyone to be like me and just be so forward-fronting, but that's just part of who I was when I was alive. So, I don't know.
If one
I
thing
was kind of
will
hoping to
change
see
when
needles here.
If one thing that'll change when you do take position, if you do take position, is understanding the vitality that the Nosferatu have to this city. Just because all the information doesn't flow through you, doesn't mean that the Nosferatu aren't heavily involved in all decision-making.
You know, I never asked you, how many Nosferatu do you think are actually in Chicago?
He takes a moment. Maybe 10. Could be 12.
That doesn't really seem like a lot compared to, like, the Toreador or the Ventru.
How many Ventru do you think are in this city?
Well, I can see 3 bigwigs over there right now, and I've met a fair share of lessers. But the Toreador, well, the Rose Garden's not exactly quiet. It's like a bunch of hens.
It tends to happen when one clan rises to power over the others.
Who do you think has the most count? The most power, at least in numbers? You think it's Toreador?
He does take a moment. Thin Bloods.
Really? How many do you think are in the city right now?
I don't think we'll ever know that number. Once they arrive and are found out, they're taken care of quickly.
If you had to guess a statement, just give me a raw number. Ballpark.
Oh. 20 at any given time.
That seems kind of strong. I'm not mad at that. What's your leg on it? Where do you stand on the whole Thin Blood situation?
I don't find them as a pretense to doom, but other than that, they are dangerous to our existence, especially those who can walk in daylight. We can do naught to stop their masquerade breaches, except rely on our ghouls during the sunlight hours, and that cannot always be relied on.
All right, with those raw numbers on the board, would you say that there's probably less than 200 kindred in all of Chicago?
He thinks for a minute. There and abouts would make sense. Maybe a little more.
Then, theoretically, you suggest that maybe we have 400 or 500 ghouls?
I don't think the number's that high.
You don't think so?
Ghouls are a responsibility. They require commitment. Things a lot of the younger kindred who are turned to Thin Bloods or don't make it past their own fledgling state don't have. That's the other part of it, I suppose you need to keep into context. I think the majority of the kindred within our city are young. And they're dying before we even get to know they exist. Running into a lupine, meeting the sunlight because they don't believe it. Any number of things.
Hunters.
And kindred at the moment are not allowed to be turned, so those who are being turned by accident or otherwise are being abandoned or killed.
That's probably why feeding has been so easy recently.
It certainly made things easier.
Huh. That kind of puts things into some perspective for sure.
And you have to keep in mind the balancing act the kindred have to keep within a city. Too many of us and the food becomes too scarce. We run the risk of being discovered. It's the reason there are laws against the embrace. It's not to hide away or stop you from being a parent. It's Then he takes a moment to keep an insurance policy on our own people's mistakes.
Very well. That makes sense. I understand completely. Have you talked to, well, Jackson or the Prince in regards to stepping down?
I'll be stepping down this evening.
Tonight?
Yes.
Oh, I
It'll
didn't think
not
that
be
was
an
so
mission.
soon.
He shakes his head. Don't worry. Or do not stress yourself. It won't be an immediate transition. It'll take a lot of time. We have to find somebody who can replace me. And we have to make sure it all's a... Anybody else hear that?
I heard, yeah, I heard that a little bit.
You're leaning too close to your headphone. Your
Never
headphones.
had that
Feedback?
happen
You're getting
before.
feedback.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I just dropped it down a little bit. Okay. Sorry. That's horrifying. Shit. What the fuck was I saying?
Yeah, don't worry. It's not an immediate decision.
Oh, yeah. He goes, it's not an
the
immediate
transition will be
transition.
slow.
We need to find a replacement and have those agree about the replacement before I can truly step away. But I want the process to begin tonight.
So it's not like a clan elect thing. It's something that the other Primogen come to a decision of.
He takes a minute. It varies clan to clan. But if I'm going to be stepping away, my business dealings with the other Primogen Council have to be closed and dealt with first. I cannot abandon them. But it would make sense to do it tonight.
What are the business dealings you got, Snitch?
For another rare moment where you hear him kind of just chuckle. I am the Primogen of the Nosferatu. A better question is, who don't I have business dealings with?
Is it a matter of them owing you or you owing them?
A little column A, a little column B.
Well, what can I do to help? I don't want to rush you out, but I want to make this as an easy transition as possible.
Just get out of here tonight alive.
You don't have to worry about that. Oliver Hopkins is a survivor. I ain't going anywhere.
Are you surprised he insinuates he understands what's about to happen tonight, or he insinuates something's happening tonight?
No, I think he's a smart enough man, and if he can read between the lines, he understands that there's something
He's
happening.
also still the Nosferatu Primogen.
Exactly.
Yeah. He nods. That's all that matters. If I'm going to throw my weight behind you, you need to be alive.
You can guarantee that much. Take it to the bank. I'm not going anywhere.
Was that all?
Well, yeah, it's just catching up. It's not often that I get to talk to you unless I hunt you out.
The recent nights have been time-consuming.
You really should make some sort of pamphlet or a go-to guide to help me, when I'm in the basement, because
I will be by
the
your
place is
side
difficult.
for many months as you learn everything you need to know.
It's like you're a little guardian angel. You're sitting on my shoulder.
I'm going to hand you the keys to something that could bring Chicago to its knees. You have to understand what you're doing.
I think the Venture are aware of that.
I'm sure they are. But no one is as trustworthy as you to handle it, Mr. Hopkins.
That's a big statement.
You've proven it time and again over a decade. There is no better person to take over the labyrinth and other things, and otherwise.
Heard. Yeah, I hear that. Well, let's hope things go off without a hitch. And I'll be waiting in the wings. Got nothing else going on tonight. Anybody you think I should be rubbing elbows with?
He doesn't. He takes a minute and kind of shakes his head. Just be with your coterie. They'll be valuable when the time comes.
You can guarantee that. They're family. Well, I'm going to go see to them now, see if I can try to enjoy things before it gets hot.
And as you close the conversation and walk away, we blur pan over to Ava, who is next to Nero, amidst the Toreador having Toreador surface level conversations, before you eventually get a moment to have him to yourself. He looks over to you and smiles, and gives you just a pleasant, I guess just a pleasant smile would he would give you, nothing else, and just look to you like you're the one that pulled him to the side.
I know you and I haven't really seen each other much in these past nights.
He nods. It's regretful. I've missed our time together.
I am sorry for everything that happened with, you know.
He looks to his over to his right and his left, and he actually walks a little bit further away from other people. And he looks to you. Have you still been having dreams?
I'm thinking about how I want to answer this. I mean, I haven't really had any. I haven't heard
You've
the
had
music.
visions, but yeah,
Yeah. I would just tell like I haven't heard the music in some time, but I do still see many things.
Mine have yet to cease. It's changed, but he leans in. It's remained remarkably similar the past few months alone. I just keep seeing myself playing with an orchestra at the edge of Chicago itself as it burns. I don't know what it means. Do you? And he looks to you almost eagerly, understanding that you are one who has visions and things. But he does lean in and he's like, have you had anything like that? Do you know what it means?
As Toreador, we too are gifted with being able to see things. It's not just something specific to the Malkavian. As a matter of fact, I feel the things I have seen are stronger than any Malkavian in the city has ever experienced or seen. And I do think what you're seeing, it means something. It means danger. And I think we need to think about the future. Tamosius. I call him by his...
Yeah, he looks up to you and he's looks to you with kind of open eyes of surprise. And what do you think we should do, Miss Heloise?
We need to stop that fire that you see in your visions.
But I
the
don't
burning.
know what the fire means. I don't know how it started. I don't know what anything other than the pure dread that I feel watching from a distance.
I know what it is.
I don't.
I just need you to answer me one question.
Ask.
Are you with me or are you not?
There's a genuine look of confusion.
I know. It was getting real.
He was like, what do you...
When things may... The city could very easily turn dark very quickly.
But you say you know why.
The things I've told you, the whisperings, the La Sombra, all of those things, the changes that are happening.
I had a feeling
You've seen the subtleties of it already. We've seen it firsthand.
If you are standing against whatever this coming doom is, then yes, of course, I stand on your side. I don't know who wouldn't.
Then myself and my coterie will make sure you are safe. What you saw, what you're seeing, it's a sign that you know an end is coming. And we can be out of it before it hits.
He looks like he's gonna, he goes to say a couple of things before he finally settles on something. Are you telling me that Gehenna is real? Am I seeing the end of our kind?
In a sense, yes, in a manner of speaking, perhaps not the term Gehenna, but other things that could be an end.
I don't know what else to say. And I don't know if Elysium is the place to say it, even if I did.
No.
Can I see you in the next few nights? We'll have dinner. Long overdue.
Yes. And just, I don't know how the rest of this Elysium will go tonight. I assume more announcements. Things may get heated. Just keep your eyes Keep your eyes peeled.
And you watch him immediately put on a face and, might any Toreador do. And your conversation kind of returns to a surface level as you mingle back in with the Toreador. Where Bella and Sienna.
I actually want to walk back to the Toreador with Nero in my arm and just like smile at Sienna when I see her, and I just kind of.
She gives you an extremely pleasant smile. Give me a wits insight.
Okay. Yes. What's insight? Only 2 successes.
She looks pleasant.
Okay.
She just looks pleasant to you, just like Sienna. And as you rejoin them, Ollie, you make your way back to Dakota, I'm imagining, as Dakota makes her way back from the Ventru as well. You see, unsurprisingly, you see Ava over with the Toreador mingling. And it's as you kind of make your way back and rejoin that you see hushed murmurs begin again as you see the Harpy step up on the stage. As she kind of quickly brings everybody down. Hey, please, I know we're having a phenomenal night, maybe even one of the best Elysiums that we've had in a century, but there is some important business still to be done, and I'd like to welcome to the stage our very own Nosferatu Primogen, Snitch. And she smiles and starts a polite clap, and Snitch, for the very first time, you see him look awkward and uncomfortable, like just a little bit out of his element as he steps on stage. And as he turns to the crowd and the Harpy steps off, we'll fade to black and go to break. And we'll be back in just a few minutes as shit's about to kick off.
Like, is that break time?
I know,
right?
I know. It's flying by. We'll be back in a few minutes, everybody. Don't go anywhere. I'm the one that's running technology. Give me a second. I forgot for a second. Okay, bye. Hello, everybody. Welcome back from break. I hope you guys got some water, use the bathroom, because we're going to jump kind of right into it. Yeah, go check out our Patreon. Go check out all that good stuff. And thank you guys for supporting us, obviously, here. If you want to sub on Twitch also, I think I forgot to say that earlier, do that as well. It helps us, this show, very particularly. All right, as our camera fades back in and we return from break, instead of being back in Elysium, as Snitch takes the stage, instead, we're greeted with the air that's thick in the scent of rust and decay. As our vision kind of moves in, we see a relatively obscure, non-imposing brick structure. We see windows that are smashed out with boards up over them, and we see within a glimmer of light within the building itself. A rusted chain link fence actually surrounds the property that we move past, topped with barbed wire fence that glints much more new than the actual chain link fence that it sits on. And as we cautiously enter through the front door, or rather through through the front door, we'll go under the front door. You find yourselves instead in a small room that hums with energy. Here we get a snapshot of those who are prepping. The first we see is Emmy. She sticks out like a sore thumb. Would Emmy be sitting somewhere? What we're looking at is an open space here with the gathering hall, more or less, where they have some plastic tables set up, a couple of chairs. You have firearms laid out, a couple of maps of the hotel itself, and the about 5 or 6 people here that will make up the strike force that's moving in when the time is right. And Emmy, would you be amongst it all? Would you be kind of stepping away? What is Emmy doing in the crew of it all?
I think she's probably having little conversations here and there with different people. But when she first arrived, she probably meets with, who was the person that I was meeting with originally?
Did we have somebody you were meeting with originally?
I did when I was in the Anarch territory.
Well, yeah, you went to go see somebody there. That's right. Was it a named person or was it somebody I made up? Oh, God, I got my notes here.
It was a named person.
I thought it was Mal Davis.
That sounds maybe like a bug, you're right. Oh, yeah, Mal Davis is exactly correct. I know who that is. Yeah, I think that's 100% correct. I'll double check later. But you would have spoke with them and assured, basically you would have confirmed that after you arrive, after you walk through the front doors, within 10 minutes, the attack will begin. Unless Emmy has any other time frame she'd like if she wants more time or less time. But the plan is, according to Mal Davis, is that once Emmy arrives and walks through the front doors of Elysium within a 10-minute span, somewhere within, they'll arrive and the operation will begin. They expect the operation to last no more than 5 or 10 minutes. When the gangrel arrive, that's their cue to get the fuck out. They are all well aware that their lives are at stake here. However, for the movement of the anarchs and independence and true democracy, something that you see spray painted all over the walls of this abandoned warehouse in a blood red spray paint. They understand that their lives are at stake.
Okay. No, I think that makes sense.
Was there some particular things you wanted to seed?
I think Emmy does want to seed some things.
Mm-hmm.
She would like to get some people to maybe focus their efforts on a certain person.
So you're probably standing around with one of the printed out maps of the hotel with Mal Davis and a couple of others. She's like, so you'll be entering through these double doors. After that, like I said, 5-10 minutes, somewhere around there, we'll make our way through. We'll enter the front doors. I'll have a few people coming through the windows, and I'll have the last couple coming through the back. And the plan is to, and she, as she's going to work into the plan of who to hit, that's where Emmy wants to start influencing a little bit. What do you say?
Yeah, I think she's just well, how does that initiate that conversation exactly?
Yeah,
so I know where to
just
step in.
So she's looking. So she's like, once we're inside, like I said, 5 or 10 minutes at most, and we'll be out. Especially after Dakota arrives at the gangrel. And our hit plan is pretty straightforward. You want us to avoid the prince for political reasons, which everybody's understood with, as well as Jackson, which makes total sense. Portia will be left alone, as well as the loud ones. But everybody else is fair game as far as I am concerned. Sienna, Ava's sire, I'm unsure if she's on the board or not, but any of the other Toreador beyond those 3, Ava, Sienna, good lord, Sienna and...
Out of character, would Ava have made it clear that she wants Sienna off the board?
No, she doesn't necessarily feel one way or another toward her sire. Like the relationship is tumultuous, so she doesn't feel one way or another. She's not like my sire must be protected kind of thing.
Okay, all right.
So yeah.
And then Emmy says,
Not that I'm aware of. But there is someone I would like to focus on if you can.
She looks over, open to hearing names, though. This short before the plan. We'll see what we can do. Who do you have in mind?
Ballard.
There's just a sigh. Of course it's Ballard.
and if I need to influence it in any
please. If
other
you want to
way,
make
I
me
will.
A manipulation persuasion or charisma persuasion, what are you looking to do? You could even offer money or deals.
Yeah, I think I can submerge a directive, which is manipulation.
Oh, you want to use a discipline?
Dominate.
You can. It just they get a resistance, I think.
They do. It is intelligence plus resolve.
Okay. Let me just get open Moldova's character sheet real quick. But yeah, well, you absolutely can submerge a directive.
Okay.
It's over this way.
Do you want to roll first so I know what I have to be?
Yeah, I'm just looking
make
for
it
a
more
character.
suspenseful.
Well, you can make your first roll and then choose to adjust after you learn what I roll. What clan was she? Shit, Bruja? I can't remember.
She's Caitiff.
She's Caitiff.
I believe.
Caitiff, that's
Yeah,
right.
she's 100% Caitiff,
I can't remember shit.
as far as I know.
But if you want to make your first roll, do you want to rouse the blood?
Yes, I
So go
would
ahead and
like
make,
to
go ahead
rouse
and
the
make your
blood.
roll for the rouse.
All right, success.
All right.
All right, and that is manipulation, dominate, which is pretty good. I think, do I roll
What? Ooh.
this button?
Oh my god. It's because I'm so fucking stupid. Looking in the rule book. I'm like, where is this bitch?
Oopsie.
Fucking, I'm just stupid. All right, there we go.
It's so weird how you roll. That's not.
Yeah, Maldavis, not Moldova. That's what it was. Okay, here we go. What is the roll she gets?
She gets an intelligence plus resolve.
Intelligence resolve. Okay.
Manipulation. How do I roll my discipline plus it? When I hit the little diamond, it's going-
Yeah, it took me forever to figure out how to roll disciplines on the Roll20 sheet.
It's like kind of weird.
Yeah,
And
so
then
you
there's
do
like
the
a pop-up.
discipline and then so it would be dominate and then you click under the one attribute
and then
or skill, whichever one it
manipulation.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I have a +1.
And it should roll with like your blood potency bonus and everything as well.
Cool.
Which is nice because I forgot to do that sometimes.
Okay. Ooh, it's a 6. I'm gonna definitely
Holy,
willpower.
look at that dice pool. 15.
Yeah, I have a
Are you
lot.
fucking
Not
kidding me?
joking. Can I only
15
reroll
dice.
3?
So
Yep. only
6
three.
out of 15, everybody.
Yeah, 6.
So I can
sixes
only
out of 15.
reroll 3.
You can only reroll 3 with a willpower
Okay.
point.
That's the most dice pool I think I've ever seen
Well,
on a
she
character.
She
sheet.
roused. She got a
Seven.
+1 for the blood she has in her system as well. She has her max pool of 5 in dominate plus manipulation.
5
Manipulation.
manipulation.
Are you?
Like, this is
Yeah.
why. This is
you-
why I say Kindred
I saved
become
up all my
unplayable at a
skills and I
certain
put
age.
them in that.
Like, yeah, at a certain age, your characters become
Bro,
very hard to play because you just
That
like.
just blew my mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's my
Right?
it's my highest roll. You haven't seen me roll any of that because I haven't had a reason to like
Yeah.
do that to you guys.
Holy
or-
moly, don't mess with Emmy.
I just double
Oh
critted.
my
Excuse?
gosh!
Mel
what?
Davis just double critted. 4 10s.
3, 4, 5,
Jesus.
6,
That was
7, 8,
9.
9.
I rolled so bad for how many days. I was like, oh, I have so many
Okay.
guys. I'm gonna be good at this.
11.
Y'all, let me just get a screenshot of
We
this.
need to take a
That's
screenshot
a
of
crazy
these.
roll. That's why I roll
Wow.
openly.
You got 4 crits. Oh my
Let
god.
me go. Let me read your power.
Oh, I can
the
I can place it. I can
Sometimes-
paste it into chat for
Yeah,
you.
yeah, that works too.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you. Blah, blah, blah.
This is going to Discord.
Yeah.
I rolled so
Elysium
many
is-
dice and I failed. Oh my god.
That sucks. Sometimes that's just how it goes.
That's wrong.
Make rolls. There's no
That's
way
not
of
your
knowing if the
fault.
submerged station works until. Okay, so she wouldn't know you did it, and you wouldn't know if you succeeded until you try to do it. That's just how it works. So you roll, you use the ability. You know above table it was resisted. However, what exactly do you try and submerge? Like, what do you say?
When she asked, I said,
oh yeah,
Ballard.
No, you want to use that? That is your. That would work.
God.
Yeah, that totally works. So you say that you now, because it's subtle, and unlike, as we were talking about off camera, unlike a presence power, there's really no way to know. Even you yourself have no idea. But you would have to like built in a trigger word or a trigger. Is the trigger seeing Ballard? Is like once they see Ballard, you want that ability to trigger? Okay, that's.
I think she even says,
If you see him, he's on the table.
She looks to you again, and again, she kind of sighs and is like, she's like not surprised coming from you, knowing your history. But she's like, I'll do what I can, I promise. Anybody off limits for you in particular?
I don't think she has anyone that's off limits other than like her coterie
Understood.
and Jackson. And she already said those, right?
Yep. She's Jackson is because they've been working. Jackson's been working with you and the Anarchs to get this going. This is all planned. So, after you've attempted to submerge her directive, and you kind of set out the plan, she kind of looks up. She says, "Well, the cars are running. We can head out now. It's a little bit of a drive to get there. You'll be leaving first."
And she skips off to.
You
to
see, you
head
hop
in.
into a pickup truck sitting in an alleyway nearby. As you get scooped up and put inside, the truck rides off.
I can't believe you, Mathis.
What? I know, that's crazy. That'll probably be my only good roll for the whole night, unfortunately. We'll see how it goes. And as your the truck drives off, our vision fades, and it returns back to the murmurings of Elysium as they're brought to a quiet, as Snitch takes the stage after being introduced by the Harpy. He walks up, and there's an awkward silence as he turns to face everybody. And after a few beats of him almost not quite sure what to say, he just kind of blurts it out. Tonight will be the night I am resigning as Nosferatu Primogen of the city. And he just like lets that happen, and then the murmuring kind of picks back up, but it's people are looking around at each other. And as he realizes that people begin whispering, he kind of holds up his hand. I understand this may be a surprise to some of you, but worry not. I will take the time necessary to find a proper replacement and have the seat filled before I leave the influence that the Primogen seat holds. Chicago and its kindred are still my number one priority and always will be, Primogen or not. But my own life takes me elsewhere now, and Chicago can be put in more younger, competent hands. And he clears his throat again, and the murmuring gets quiet, but still a few whispers here and there. And then as another awkward few moments pass, he's like, and that is everything. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And as he goes to step off, there's a few moments of awkward silence before there's a few light golf claps and whatnot as he steps off the stage as the Harpy steps back on. Don't worry. She goes like, there's not bad news, everybody. In fact, having fresh faces on the Primogen Council is what our own lives are all about, right? And she looks to the many of the kindred. So many of us here are younger faces, not raised by elders. No, Chicago belongs to the youth. And Snitch, in his infinite wisdom, understands this. So, until he's gone, Snitch is still your Primogen, and treat him as such. And we will make sure that the next Nosferatu Primogen is at least half as respectable as Snitch has always been. And she smiles, and now the whispers turn into an actual clap and like an appreciation as she smiles a very happy grin, and she nods and goes, now, about your evenings, everybody. And she steps away. Ava's still with the Toreador during all of this, right?
Yes. Yes.
Does Ollie, or does Dakota and Ollie say anything after that? Or does he kind of just stay kind of awkward, not awkward, but silent?
I mean, I'm awkward.
Sure. Is there anything the two of you want to discuss about that at all, or we can keep moving?
So I guess this means you've got a new job.
Well, not yet. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. He's got some things that he's got to clear first.
Oh,
Apparently
please.
so.
He's been up your ass for a decade. You know you have the job.
Well, apparently it's not all about Nos-elect. Apparently all the Primogen have to be on board too.
Oh, please, Ollie. You know you've got all of them on your side, too.
One can hope. I really just want to bring them out of the dark. I think they really quite like being there when nobody's messing with them, but it
You
sucks.
think him leaving his job as Primogen and keeper of the labyrinth is gonna make him come out of the shadows?
Oh no, I mean the Nosferatu in general.
You think that Snitch has been not doing his job?
No, I think he's actually doing his job quite well, almost to the point of a problem. He's great. He's a great face for the Nos. But there's some truth in what the Harpy just said. Some new blood could go a long way, and to be honest, all the Nos are scared. They're scared, but they're resilient. Shouldn't have to hide.
You're talking to the one person who agrees entirely with you.
Let's hope all the other Nosferatu feel the same way.
Well, they're gonna do what they want to do. That is one thing I've learned about the Nos.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. We're very stubborn. We're a stubborn lot for sure.
That is
But-
one way to put it.
Even after appointing, if that's what it comes to, he's still going to be around for some months.
And then what? Where does Snitch go?
I don't know. Part of me wants him to get the fuck out of the city. He
Oh,
doesn't
shit.
deserve the shackles of Chicago.
What does he deserve?
Everybody deserves some air. You know, you got to come up once, twice. Got to stop from drowning. Is that all right? Was that the answer you were hoping for?
I hope for nothing this evening, but just a good time.
Well, he impressed upon me that it is in my best interest to stick by my family, to stay close to the loud ones, because he knows they got my back.
Oh, so he's in the know.
I would hazard a guess to say that all of the Nosferatu are in the know. It's their job.
Interesting.
Which would imply that the Nosferatu should have decided allowing the attack to continue is better for the city than telling Prince Bella.
There's a reason. If you look around, notice how many other Nosferatu are here right now. If you counted 2, you counted correctly.
Hey, it's more than the gangrel.
One
For
other
now.
one has arrived since then, actually. Moonclaw.
Oh,
He would have
okay.
arrived. He would have arrived at some point. Very late. but he
who
did.
who is it? Moon?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Moon. Okay. Yeah, I'll make sure, obviously, that
Yeah,
we greet
absolutely.
Moon.
Yeah.
Ollie can be with me for that or whatever. Like, I just
No,
will
yeah,
make
yeah.
sure that there's some kind of. I guess he
Acknowledgement.
doesn't need to introduce himself. She already knows he's in town.
Yep. One of the safer options of the gangrel to show up.
Yep. I probably say Moon.
It gives you just a curt nod. It looks to
Great.
you as though you have an order for him or anything, and if not,
No, I just look at him. I was like, "Are you gonna enjoy yourself?"
Yeah, and probably step outside after a little bit. I'm not. Social situations make me uneasy.
Yeah, me too. But I've learned to soak it up.
Yeah, I haven't quite learned that yet. And he gives an uncomfortable chuckle.
Uh,
I'll make sure my face is seen. Don't worry.
You're a good man, Moon.
He walks off. And unless there's any other conversation, Ava.
I don't think so.
Grant went off to the bathroom a bit while ago. He came back, but you didn't realize you've seen him mingling occasionally. He was more like kind of walking around, grabbing a drink and whatnot. But he does actually come back around this time. And Ava, he's not walking alone. He has somebody with him. It takes you a second, but not nearly as long as last time. Grant has a big smile. He's walking side by side with one of the freedom fighters.
Oh, no.
Hey, look what the guy gave me a beer watch and the other thing. We don't talk about that. And the other guy just gives a smile and he's like, Ava Heloise, I never saw you again.
Hello.
He reaches out his hand.
I forget. Did we exchange? Did you give me a name?
You said you'd come back.
I was trying to. I was planning on it, as a matter of fact.
You look over.
It was
you look over at
urged
Grant,
otherwise.
and Grant looks a little guilty. They're in the Toreador circle.
Oh,
right
they're
now.
at the other side. They
Yeah.
haven't joined us. Oh, okay.
It's just I took it a little hard, but Toreador, and he gives you like a smile. Enjoy your night?
Yes.
I thought I'd check out one of these Elysiums. I'd heard one was happening.
Wow. I'm glad you could make it. Elysium is always open for anybody of kindred background.
So I've
You know?
heard. So I've heard.
Hmm.
How have things been with you?
Busy.
Yeah.
Quite busy. Yes.
Yeah.
I see you found Grant, your old buddy.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's one of the best partners you could have to watch fucking football with on a Monday night that you could ask for. And Grant just chuckles. I like this guy. You can kidnap me anytime. That's a joke. Don't actually do that.
You just like,
And he like immediately catches himself. He's like, oh, it's a joke, huh?
So
So,
you're here tonight.
Hey,
How are you enjoying the evening? How is Elysium for you?
he kind of shrugs. It's fine. A little bit stuffy for my taste, but I had to see if these places were as luxurious and grand as I've been told all these years.
Perhaps you'd like to meet my coterie mates. You didn't have the chance to last time.
I would love that.
Okay. Let me take you to them.
He smiles and he actually pats Grant on the back. Why don't you go
This
grab
is
us another couple of beers and meet us over there? And he's like, all right. And he walks off.
What was this guy's name? I think I wrote it down.
Oh,
The great Tracy test is always the
What's
name.
their name? Okay.
I wonder if I wrote him down on our NPC list.
Yeah, my notes are just not.
As
my
you're walking
friend.
over to the table where the other
I didn't
two,
write his name down either.
he stops about halfway. He's like, hang on. And he like stops walking and he's like, he turns over to the stage. He's like, somebody's a show. And he turns and as you turn, you realize there's nobody on the stage. But for a moment, you suddenly hear, fuck, ow, Damien. And you hear Bella wince in pain as he calls for Damien. And she looks down at like her side and there's no blood. There's nothing sticking out of it. She almost like feels like it was annoyed. And she goes, Damien, just do a circle here and make sure everything's good. The fuck? And then there's a moment where you see she might be worried. You know there's other things happening with Bella, of course. But she sends Damien off and he goes to do a perimeter walk around. And at that, he goes, the show's begun. And he smiles. And then you watch as Sienna steps forward with a wicked smile and pulls a stake. And with a swift strike, plunges it into Bella's heart. Bella collapses to the ground and is quickly surrounded by the Toreador as Damien looks rather confused. And as you whip around and you see the chaos begin to stir, you see Grant being held at gunpoint by an unfamiliar face. It's held a good distance as Grant looks over to all of you. And then suddenly another scream as Nero drops to the ground. Stake in heart. What do you do?
Okay, so there's 3 people dying right now. This is like the trolley problem. There's people dying. Hold on.
They're being staked though. So are they like
They're
being put
dead,
into
or are they
torpor?
just
Two are
torpor?
staked, and Grant has a gun to his head.
To our stage,
Yeah.
Grant has a gun to his head by an unknown person. I'm gonna go for Grant right now. Grant is mortal and fragile. So I am going to look at the person who is holding him at gunpoint, and I can't use a discipline.
As you approach, the person slides their head behind Grant's and tries to keep Grant in a position where you cannot make eye contact with him.
Fuck.
And
Of
you hear the
course.
voice, and you hear a voice. One last step, and you're going to see what a ghoul's brains look like spattered on the floor of Elysium. Stay where you are, get the rest of your fucking coterie, and get the fuck out of here, or Grant dies.
I
And
immediately
Grant just
look.
looks like he's shaking.
Dakota stands
Yep.
I look
without
to-
any
yeah.
any fear,
Yep.
and Dakota goes,
As you wish.
and she kind of pulls the leather jacket off, and she will use the first discipline. Technically, I'm not even part of the Camarilla. Fuck off you. And in front of everyone, I'll change into a bird and change into hawk form and fly out the front door.
Okay. You take a round to do that. You rouse check to transform, I think. Ollie, what about
Yep.
you?
They have Grant.
One has Grant.
By
One has
gunpoint.
Grant.
And he,
Ava
and he
tried,
said,
and Ava's turn, she tried to approach, and they just gave her a warning. They tucked his head behind Grant so they couldn't make eye contact with Ava. Said, get you and your coterie out of here, or Grant gets it, essentially. At Hunger 2, you kind of run out the front door. We're watching, and we can hear, as you're kind of like taking off the jacket, we hear the bones cracking, the skin peeling apart as feathers push outward and give way, before eventually your little turns into like a squawk of a fucking bird, and you boom.
And when I
you hit
fly
the-
out the front door, you hear
take off.
squawking, just hawk squawking
Yep,
for
and that's the
miles.
sign. At this point,
Yep, that's the
Emmy,
gangrel call.
Emmy, you pull up just as all of this kicks off. And as you're walking through the front door, it's as you see Nero drop and Dakota at the end of her transformation taking off and Ollie doing what he's about to do.
interesting. I think Emmy is grinning.
This is, and you look around and this is not the Anarchs. You are
No,
well
this
aware
is
of
not the
that.
plan, but still exciting.
Dude, I don't know what Ollie would do in this situation. This is if
Are you
somebody
just
has-
shocked?
if somebody has a gun to his head, that's
And he's
I'm open to suggestions because I don't think it's positive by any
he's
means.
telling us to leave.
Yeah, he said, take your coterie and leave, or he's going to get it. But you do what you think Ollie's going to do, homie. If it's not something good, do the not something good.
Do you Fury Frenzy?
Somebody's gonna have to. Yeah, no, somebody's gonna have to move him out. They're gonna have to move him out of this place. There's no way he's gonna react even remotely coherent.
Yeah,
Do you want to
yeah.
resist a Fury Frenzy check then?
Now's your
Uh,
chance, Ava. Do the thing you do.
This is, yeah.
Do you want a Majesty?
I
Did you take that?
didn't take it. I don't have because I used my points for clairvoyance.
Yes, that's what
so
I
I don't.
thought.
Yeah, but I do have dread gaze, and I'm thinking about that
And you
one.
could use clairvoyance to see if you could find. Clairvoyance will give you the area. It'll tell you potentially how
Yes.
many are here, where they actively are, because it's present time. It's not like past or future.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can take a moment and like in your panic, maybe even attempting to like, rely on your own awareness. You fall into a clairvoyant state if you wanted to make that check.
I may do that just because this asshole doesn't.
But Ollie, are you
Yeah.
resisting a Fury Frenzy? Is the first question.
Well, let's find out.
Okay, I was saying, do you think Ollie's in a position where he would have to make a resist check?
Yes.
Okay,
1,000,000%.
Go for it.
What's the DC?
A threatened, it's like 2 or 3 at most. I want to see.
Okay.
I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure it's. I think 3 is if he kills it or injures it. 2 might be where like it's threatened. I'll double check.
I'll set it
Welcome
at 2
here.
and just roll.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay,
I have 7
fucking- you
successes.
critted, you're
Yeah,
fine.
don't matter.
You're more than
Oh,
fine.
man.
Jesus Christ, yeah, you rolled a lot. You feel it. Obviously, you feel it. And there's probably a moment where you were even tempted to give in, but you know what fucking happens. And when you come to, it'll be more than just him dead. You bite down, you swallow, and you maintain control.
Man.
You can still be furious, but you're not out of control.
100%.
Ava, you're gonna do clairvoyance.
Yep.
Okay. Make your roll. I don't remember exactly what it needs to
Yeah,
be.
it's intelligence aspects. 6 successes, and it could have been more.
Unfortunate. You could use a willpower and re-roll 3 of them.
Or no, how's it 6 successes?
Yeah, it's 2
6
successes.
dice rolled.
Yeah, I
6
was
dice
like,
rolled, 2
if it
successes.
was-
Yes. I am willpower re-rolling because I should get more. I should have more successes than that.
You
Okay.
crit. You actually critted by doing that.
2
You went
tens.
from
Let's
2
go.
to 5. Excellent. Ava, do you like, so what we see as our camera whips around from the chaos, first we see Bella drop, then we whip around and we see Nero drop, and then we see this quick pan zoom of a shaky cam to a gun to Grant's head. Ava stumbles back a few moments, and you probably simply just close your eyes, trying to just rely on your presence and awareness to see if you can figure things out, and you fall into an awareness. It's not like a RTS map in a video game where you have a top-down view. You simply have inherent knowledge and understanding of everything happening within basically a block, which is going to be half this building, essentially. In this moment, let's look up, I don't know if you ask questions or I just tell you things. Clairvoyance, let's take a look.
You can paste it in the chat.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
She pasted it in.
Oh, fantastic. So by closing their eyes, enter in a few minutes, it can gather information from roughly a block-sized area. One to take many hours, perhaps days. Once connected in such a way that surroundings can also receive information on anything happening out of the ordinary in the area.
The player can ask roughly one question per point of margin.
Okay. So you needed to roll a difficulty 3. Your margin is 2. You can ask 2 questions.
Okay. How many freedom fighters are here?
You've seen all their faces, and that thought runs through you before you just start seeing like faces until you count 5.
5.
You have 3 that you're aware of.
And where? Yeah.
Where are they?
Yeah, like where are they located?
Yep. Obviously, the one that's holding Grant is with Grant.
Yep.
The one that took down Nero and Bella are by Nero and Bella. One that took down Nero is over by Nero. One that took down Bella is over by Bella. And then you see, you understand. Sienna.
She's one of them. What? My side?
And then one that is on the outskirts of your understanding. One that seems to be moving out of this area. So you're left with 4 in and 1 leaving.
4 in, 1 leaving. Okay. I'm gonna just
that takes you around. That will just say that takes you around.
Yes.
It's supposed to be a couple minutes. I'll give it. It's going to be like around. That's about it. It's just for the dramatics of it all. Ollie, what are you doing? You've maintained your rage. You're not out of control.
There's almost 0 chance that he wants to leave, but
absolutely,
there's probably a point of reassurance for Grant.
Looking at Grant, he looks terrified.
I probably would say, yeah, we'll leave, but he's got to come out too. He's got to come out with us.
The chaos is all happening very quickly, and in the chaos of it all, because you're like you're in downtown Chicago area, right? That's where the Blackstone is.
Yes.
He simply will say, make your way to the edge of Route 290, where it moves into Chinatown. And he gives a specific street when he says, 5 minutes, Grant will be there.
And if he's not?
He peeks just for, he flashes his left arm. My tattoo? You know how to fucking find me. No one else has a tattoo like this. And you just see.
What is it?
It's that of a cracked, like a shattered ring that has 3 gems in it of 3 varying colors, red, blue, green. And they're like, the ring is shattering and the stones are floating above it.
Okay. I file that mentally away for in the Forever Palace of people I'm going to destroy.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Then Ollie will make his way outside.
Leaving only Ava left. Ava, as you come out of clairvoyance, Ollie's like, I'm assuming you tell her, like, I'm fucking moving out. This is where you want us to go. Does Ava go along?
Yeah, I'm going to have to.
As you step away, as you step from the Toreador circle, you look down. Do you look at the other 2 to make sure they're good?
At like the 2 staked?
Well, yeah, because I imagine you look. So this is all happening in about 6 to 9 seconds, right? So shit kicks off. You look down, you look up, you look over at Ollie. There's that very brief conversation, and Ollie looks to you and probably makes a gesture like, let's fucking go, because it's not minutes of time passing. As you look over to Ollie, he's leaving. You look over to the 2 on the ground. There are Toreador now engaged in combat with these other 2, and they're moving in ways that are unnatural. Disciplines are clearly being used on both sides as swings are being taken, and in a blur, they're moving out of the way. A couple of times, a Toreador command falls through, and they're able to stop them for a moment, but none of them have killed each other yet. But as you look down at Bella, you see in her exposed midriff where her dress cuts, black veins slowly creeping outward from one particular point. And it continues. But she's in torpor with a stake in her heart.
As is Nero. Is he still in torpor?
He's there.
All right. I'm gonna leave.
You need to make a couple of rolls. You jog over to Ollie.
Yeah.
Oops, nope, not 60, 120. Let's try that again.
Dear God.
1, 2, 3. Versus 2. Crit versus.
What are these rolls?
Other kindred engaged in combat right now.
Somebody crit.
And as you're making your way out, Ollie and Ava, you actually pass Emmy as she's about to walk in. The doors fling open, and there's Emmy, and not in the ballroom, but in the lobby area.
I take my mask off.
Yep.
I just take my mask off, and I mouth to Emmy, Sabbat.
The Anarchs are about to head in. You can't stop them at this point. They're going to move in, and the chaos that can ensue who dies and who doesn't, you don't know.
Is the guy who had his thing to Grant, his gun to Grant, following us? Or are we out of his earshot?
No, you're out of his ear. It does not look like he's following you out of the building. He maintains like awareness of you until you leave, and then when you leave, you lose sight of both of them.
As I walk out, I just say to both of them, so Emmy and Ollie can hear this, Sienna is compromised. She's one of them. There's 5 total. I saw it. 4 of them in there. Sienna's one of them.
Fun, we have company.
Yes.
Ollie, are you just marching to where they asked you to march? Ava, are you going to follow, or are you going to linger?
I don't want to leave. So he wants us to leave, and then we're supposed to meet Grant.
And Grant will be sent to the place you're going to be 5 minutes after you're there. Like, he'll be there within a few minutes, supposedly. It's the edge of the 290. It's probably like a 15 or 10-minute walk from where you're at. The hotel is pretty close to the highway.
As I walk out, I'm like, Ollie, are we actually going to leave? You're Nosferatu. You can cling to the darkness and...
I have to trust. I have to trust it. Besides, 5 of them in there. On the way out, all I could think was, they're fucked. Even if for some reason, there are so many Primogen in there, and Cretius, you think he's gonna sit and let them make an absolute debacle?
And that's when it hits Ava. When you spoke to them, all they wanted to do was kill the elders.
Oh, God.
Yeah, when you say, oh, the Primogen are in there, and he's fucked, that's when I remembered the conversation.
They're the targets. But maybe you're right. Maybe they don't stand a chance. I don't know if I want to leave while my clan is being staked.
You're going to leave the party? It's just beginning.
He told us to leave or he's going to shoot Grant in the head.
Oh, I see.
God.
I need a decision.
Right.
I need a decision from all of you. Where are you going? Are you staying or are you going?
What if they're lying to us?
Answer. There's no wrong answer here.
I don't think we should trust them, Molly. They could be lying.
Where's Dakota?
She took off to get the gangrel. She'll be back in a couple minutes, likely. Like
you probably hear me from the streets.
Yeah,
like
just remember, like, every round is technically 3 seconds, so it's like it happens.
Yeah, so I basically hit the skies, and you hear me.
Yeah,
just
you can call making the call.
Ollie,
and Dakota told him to stay within the few blocks, so they'll be here any minute.
Yeah, the gangrel will be here soon, as well as the Anarchs. It's about to be chaos.
I don't think we should leave this fight.
They're gonna see us. I mean, did you get clarity? Did you get any kind of cleansing pressure for Grant? Is he off the list? He'd better be off the list. I hope you said that.
He's not on our list.
Yeah, he's not on the Anarch list.
If I go in there with my disciplines, I'd be breaking. It's a breach.
They're all using disciplines in there.
They're the bad guys for using their disciplines and having weapons. I don't even know how they got clearance to walk through. We got patted down.
My guess is if Sienna's part of him, then probably she found a way.
There's no way it's just 5.
I saw 5 in my vision.
You saw 5 in your vision, but how many more are
They
just
could-
waiting to kind of come out the shadows?
They could be
You
on the
knew
way.
that because you were with them, there was like 7 or 8 of them all told for them. They weren't a huge pack.
No. We can't leave this fight, Ollie.
I really don't want to leave this fight. I don't want to, but
Then
I really
let's
have no
not
idea.
leave.
And
Just-
Emmy will skip right in.
I am going to... I'm going to go invisible.
Okay.
I'm going to obfuscate.
Make your rouse check.
My roll 20 just closed.
Yeah.
So, one moment.
Very reliable.
But I'm wearing my Roll20 t-shirt today
Nice.
Aw.
for the 10-year celebration. Yeah.
A little hungrier.
Okay. You go invisible and can move. Within a blink, Ava, you're used to this. You just no longer see him.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm going to
Obviously, Emmy went in
stay.
as well.
I'm not going to immediately walk into the building again.
Okay.
I am going to try to be a bit stealthy. I don't exactly have obfuscate, but I'm going to just like cling to the wall for now and just kind of. I may have to just use more aspects to see what's going on because I don't want to go in the room just yet.
Sure. So you walk into the room, both of Emmy and Ollie. Ollie obfuscated, and obviously, as you walk in, it's not there's just chaos around. People have already made their ways out, and as you scan the room, you already notice Jackson is long gone. He is not in the room any longer. And Horatio Ballard is also missing, though a bunch of his mooks are still around. In fact, as you look over to the Ventru, perhaps unsurprisingly, none of them are fucking there. Damien, however, is in the thick of it. He's standing over Bella as she's on the ground, fending off one of them. As you get a better look at this individual, let me open my characters here. What you actually see is what you see is Damien fighting Sienna. He's using his blade while Sienna is mostly keeping things dodging and moving rather lithely, while the other individual is just as finished their combat with one of the other Camarilla members, a face that didn't hold any power or sway, but they're on the ground. Whether they're dying or they're merely knocked from torpor, it doesn't matter, because you see him turn to Nero, and with a swift motion is about to take his head off unless you do something this round.
And wait, who's trying to
One
take
of the two
Nero's
Sabbat
head
that
off?
are attacking.
Okay. Yeah, Emmy will make her way over there. They're like trying to cut his head off.
Yeah, you have one round, so you would need to do something to get his Ollie or Emmy can do something.
Emmy
here.
will skip over, her hands behind her back, and like skipping over to them, and she just says,
Maybe you should use that on yourself.
Terminal decree.
"Yeah."
What's that? 2 rouse checks?
I think so.
I think terminal decree's 2.
Yep. It's a
It's a
doozy.
big boy power, and
Yep.
they get a resistance as a kindred, but
The human cost. This is no additional cost for me, but I do need to.
yeah. Why is there no additional cost? What the hell does that even mean? Hang on.
Because
don't
human
know.
cost has to be met. It's a stain.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
okay.
I take a stand.
Yeah. Correct.
Gotcha.
Um,
Terminal decree. Let's see what the resistance is. 1 rouse
It
check
doesn't
in addition to the
say.
cost of the power beam.
Correct.
okay. Do I still get to do double rouse checks?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So then it's cost me 1 anyway.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I get 1 hunger, and then
Well, I'm already
Massive.
sweating.
massive.
That portal vampire once. All the AI.
Is
But
it
where's
still
his- do I not get a
manipulation
roll?
dominate versus intelligence
I'm
resolve?
trying to see like what the roll is here.
I know I
It
was
will be.
looking it up and I couldn't find it.
It will be.
I would assume it's dominate, manipulation, and then the intelligence resolve.
Yeah, I'll go
to
with my
combat
intelligence
it.
resolve then. Okay. And this is against the other one, not the one that looks like Sienna, the other one.
The one that is trying to
Yep.
cut
Not
Maybe
Damien's head
off.
or Nero's head.
Mm-hmm.
Not Damien. Damien's fighting Sienna.
Okay. I get a what again? Sorry.
Is intelligence resolve. And I need to rouse again.
I should have known.
That was crazy. Yeah.
When they showed up at the party, I knew something was going to happen.
Yeah.
The pre-show party, I should say.
Yeah,
What is with my rolls?
I knew that.
7's still good.
Yeah, that's not a small.
I think I get a 7 total as my pool, so.
And you
then
can
I
still-
still willpower, right?
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
will
you
it?
can willpower 3.
It's worth it.
I will, yeah.
You
That's
crit
huge.
that
It's
way.
bigger than
Crit
that.
there.
You crit.
And I crit in the earlier one too.
You got 10 successes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10. That's a 10 success pool.
Versus my 6.
Oh, he crit too.
Yeah, but I didn't.
Yeah.
She rolled
Did it auto?
more
Does it auto
successes.
calculate the crits in there too?
Yeah,
It doesn't.
yours-
Okay.
Oh no, you have to.
Because I crit up earlier there too.
Yeah. It'll automatically calculate it if it's in the same roll, but when you willpower it, it doesn't.
But when you
automatically
willpower, it doesn't.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you have to kind of do that yourself. But either way, you rolled more successes than I do. Let's see, make sure. Yeah. So as you
By a lot.
yeah, as you skip up, take a stain as well. You are able to catch
My
the
first stain. In
as
a
you
while.
catch the eyes of this individual as they lift their blade up, and you simply say, "I think you should use that on you instead." Okay. And there's a moment where there's like he's mid swing coming down, and he stops before he twists his wrist so that the sharp edge is twisted toward him, and in a swift motion using his own supernatural strength, you watch as he just pulls back, and with a clean slice,
He sliced his own head off.
That's what he was about to do to Nero, and you just said do it to yourself instead. So as the Vitae begins to ooze, you actually watch his body quickly decompose in front of you, the Vitae itself turning to dust before he collapses to the ground as the sword clangs to the ground. Nero is still on the ground, currently torpored, and I need to make a roll for this. Ollie and Dakota, it's in this round.
Emmy
You will be
manically
returning.
giggles, which is probably really creepy, but yeah.
I'm coming back. Mathis,
Yep, this is the round you
tell me
return.
about the ceiling in this space. Does it happen to be glass?
No, I don't.
Or
think
is there any
ballroom
glass in the
this
ceiling?
is. No, but it's
No.
tall windows.
There are tall windows.
Yeah, you can. The tall.
Oh, there are tall windows?
Yeah.
As long as I can dive bomb. I want to come in and
Mhm.
just mid transition. I want to just
Tap in.
maybe the one that's fighting Damien. I don't know who I can see, but I'm coming in to dive bomb somebody with my body.
Go ahead and make me a wits awareness check to see who you eye.
Okay.
And you should have
Good
a
news
higher one of
is,
this as a
Uh-huh.
bird, so you should have a better.
yeah, exactly. Let's see if it's.
3. And you
I
can
got
reroll-
3,
and you
but
can
I
reroll.
will. This was my only time to plan to use it, so I'll use
Are
my
you at
one
hunger?
willpower.
Are you at hunger? Oh no, be a bird of prey. That's right.
Bird of prey.
Yeah,
So
I always
I'm
do
actually
that.
at hunger 2. So the
cool.
last 2 would be.
Okay, so yeah, not any of the ones you have to. worry
And then
about
I'll
rerolling,
just
so.
toss in 2 more for. I can re-roll 3. Great. Nope.
Still 3
It's meant to
successes.
be.
As you look into the window, the one that Damien is currently fighting, he's the one that's currently combating Sienna, and you lock on to see that, and you see Damien fighting Sienna, and you just want to dive bomb her. So you're gonna be, you want to make basically transforming doesn't take a round. Does
It doesn't. It doesn't take. I mean, I guess
doesn't
that's
really
kind of
matter.
up to you.
That's fine.
I'm basically using my body like a
me,
cannonball. How you want to do that? Let me know.
Dexterity athletics check for like hitting your target essentially.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want me to make that as Dakota or as the bird?
Because you're diving in as the bird and going to be transforming as you collide, it would be as the bird initially. So
So then I guess I'm gonna have to roll. Okay. There is no athletics, but it would be the same because it's based off of my stats. So I'm gonna roll it as a brawl, and then the physical to go along with it. 7 successes.
beautiful crit. Okay. Before we get to that, before we get to that, let me make a roll real quick because he's.
I hope I come in feet first.
Dude, you
I
have
want to.
three
They're not
crits there.
expecting
That's
you, so they just
crazy.
get a reactionary defense roll, aka, ooh, I rolled a 10. I get another D10.
Oh.
I only got one.
Sucker.
So, Ollie, as you are all stepping back into the room, Emmy skips off to do that. Ava stays up against the wall on the outside, and Ollie goes invisible and steps in. The window shattering quickly silences almost everything for just a moment.
Good.
As you see this bird that you know to be Dakota, feathers shedding and whipping off of it midway through the air, and as it collides into Sienna and you tumble onto the ground, by the time it's done, all the feathers have been lost, and sitting on top of it, winning the brawl check, is a Dakota with a boot to her chest and another boot probably like dropped to her knee, holding down the rest of her appendages. Ollie, what are you doing in this round?
I will close the gap between the guy that's got the gun to Grant. And I'm guessing
wits awareness for me, please, because he's not
Sure.
standing in the same spot that he was when you left.
Sure. Wits. 3 successes.
Okay. Do you want to re-roll the 2 that you can, or stick with the 3?
I'm gonna look with my 3.
Okay, cool. As you take a second to kind of scan your surroundings, being invisible, you actually see over by the back near the bathrooms, Grant being brought into into the bathroom.
Cool. Can I close that gap and get in that room?
Yeah, you can definitely get in the room with them on your round for sure. So you just pen the round, kind of just quickly making your way across. Give me another wits awareness as you look around at what's happening.
Sure. Two successes.
Okay, you want to stick with that?
Yeah, willpower reroll. I can roll 3.
Sure. 4 total.
4 successes.
4 successes total. Now, the scene is already way more scarce than it was before. Most of the people have like run off as best they can. And it's at this moment too in this round, as Dakota comes through, the Anarchs also begin to join in. And as you look around, you actually do, with 4 successes, you actually notice a handful, 3 or 4 Camarilla fighting each other. Over in the back, more towards one of the back doors, a few like fists are being thrown, some insults are being levied at each other. Camarilla themselves are actually, they don't look like they're going for like just knocking somebody out. There is intent behind these swings.
And any that I should be aware
You
of?
would recognize a few of the faces, but nobody that's like on the playing board for your coterie that you've met in the past. You know,
Gotcha.
2 of them are Bruja. And one of them is one of them is a Toreador, and the other one is I was going to say Ravnos, but that would not be correct, actually. The other one would be, hey, you know what? The other one's actually Moon. Moon's fighting the two, is on the side against the Bruja. The 2 Bruja seem to be fighting in tandem with each other.
I mean,
Not
Moon's
like
not a pushover.
synchronized, like stuff, but they're like on the same team.
Moon is not a pushover.
No,
Grant
Moon seems like
currently
he's
is.
the one that's winning his fight at the very least.
Sure. I'm trusting the scenario and the fact that the gangrel are still a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, yeah.
As the bathroom door is kind of swinging, he's going to take the opportunity to step in without hitting the door.
And our camera stays and would be looking at the back of Ollie if we could see it. As the door swings open, we know and imagine that he slipped through. And just as the door swings shut, we see on the door just a spurt of blood that fucking hits the door as it swings inward and then back outward. And as we look over, we see Moon having ripped the throat out of the individual Bruja that he was fighting. As the other Bruja looks to take its opportunity, and you actually see the Bruja, the Bruja levied a rather large fucking knife in the side of Moon as he's ripping the throat out of his other individual. But eyes are quickly cut away as Ollie steps into the bathroom. Before we cut to the rest, Ollie, you hear a very quick conversation. You count yourself to fucking 30. You close your ears and you close your eyes and you hope for the goddamn best. And you leave out the back door. I swear to fucking God, if any of them see you, they're gonna kill you and I don't want that. So just get the fuck out. And then Grant goes, yeah, what the fuck is going on? And he quickly cuts him off. Not the time to ask questions. If you want to fucking live, stay quiet, count to 30, leave. And the individual Ollie is walking, and there's enough room where he can walk around you so he doesn't perceive you, is looking and immediately looks to be leaving and I guess following through in what he guessed was going to tell you. But unless you stop him, he's going to walk by you.
He made a mistake.
Sure.
He definitely made a mistake. As he passes by, I'm gonna ride this. It's the furiousness is not steeped. It's only like boiling up inside of me. Yeah, he's gonna
take a
get
swing?
everything. I'm gonna ride the wave. This
Let's
is
Oh,
go,
you're gonna give
baby.
into the fury?
yeah.
Kill him.
Okay,
So
you get
much so.
angry again, and you just kind of like him talking to Grant like that, threatening his life that he's gonna die. Fuck it, ride the wave. Yeah, you're taking this man's life in this moment. At least the attempt. I get a defensive roll. I did not roll well.
So what does it look like when I ride the wave mechanically?
You have control of what you're doing. You're not gonna lose it, but you are still understanding that your desire, the target of this rage, is this guy right here.
Yeah. That's fist. And I'm gonna levy it here.
I'm
So
just gonna
here's
look up. I just want to see if there's any mechanics about like, do you kill him? Do you come immediately out of it? Wave VTM.
I think I have to do this here. Cool. Kill him my rouse checks. We love that.
Nice.
It's always good because then you don't get hungry.
Modifier wise,
It's more of an agreement with your beast in a way. You understand they're gonna get a hold of the steering wheel, not necessarily all the way, in tandem with you, but that does mean giving into your baser instincts of murdering the fuckers who even bothered to make you angry in the first place.
what's
Sorry,
short
I
of
roll.
my own rouse check? What modifiers is it?
So I think you
just
get
like a
plus
one?
2 to all of your strength rolls, plus 2 to your D10 die. But you can't use mental disciplines. You can't obfuscate
got it.
yourself. You're literally just pure strength.
Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 so far. And if you want, you could reroll 3 of them
Yeah.
with another 8 total.
8.
Let me look. How much health did I give this man?
Not enough.
Probably not. I imagine not. Let's see. Where are you? Always up in this first sheet here.
And Fist of Cain Potence is definitely my friend in this surprise attack.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You have fucking Fist of Cain. Do you have to activate that?
I did.
Okay, cool.
That was my first rouse.
Oh, you roused twice. Right. Yeah. So that adds another, what, 3 or something like that? So you roll like 11 successes,
It's
something insane?
successes equal to my potence, which is 5.
Jesus. Okay.
Dear God.
Wow.
Again, this
5
is why.
potence?
Yeah, this is Ollie, which is why you never want him to frenzy without control. So this man, as you step through and the door kind of swings shut, the outside fighting is muted and unmuted as the door swings. And as he's walking by, on one of the times it swings and it mutes, it happens in literally less than 3 seconds. There's no scream, there's no grunt. There's simply a squelch and a crack as your fist collides with this individual's head and meets the wall on the other side, making a small crater within the actual drywall of the basement, with blood and brain and skull bits spattered, dripping to the ground, and within a few moments, beginning to ash away. There's a notable, shut up, Grant, shut the fucking mouth, 21, 22. He's like, you can hear him because you have better hearing than fucking mortals do. The little squelch scared the fuck out of him, and now he's trying to keep quiet. But as you come out from visibility, it's not that the frenzy is completely quelled, but the thing that even was the target is gone, and you could put away the frenzy now. You can't really the thing is, if you continue to ride it, you don't know when it's going to subside at this point, because it's like dancing with the devil. Like, yeah, okay, you got it. Now you could put it away, or do you give the temptation to just fucking keep going? But at that point, when do you come out of it?
Sure. Knowing that Grant's okay, I
you hear his
will
voice.
let it superside.
Maybe it takes a couple moments where the fist is stuck in the wall. The blood dripping from your fist is turning to ash as it leaves halfway to meet the floor. And you just take a moment to close your eyes and regain composure. And when you do, and you pull your fist off as bits of drywall dust off and hit the ground, amongst the dust of what was once a kindred, do you just walk over and swing the door open?
Yes.
And as you swing the
Yeah,
door,
I don't think he can face Grant like this.
Oh, so you don't? I meant swing the door open to Grant. Sorry.
No, I don't think I can face Grant like
Okay,
this.
so you just walk out. You know he's safe.
Yeah.
You walk and you kill the thing. So you walk out as he's like 29, 30. You know what? 31, 32. And he just gives himself a little extra few seconds as you leave the room, which moves us over to Emmy, having stood now over the. You see Nero with a stake in him, and you see Damien, Darian, who's just standing. Damien.
Damien.
He's standing there. Darian was the other. Was the
Different character.
a little caught off guard because it's only been a couple seconds since Dakota came crashing through the window and tackling, and now he's got his blade out, looking down to see Dakota, looks over to you, and then looks down to Bella, and his first reaction is to go grab the stake out of Bella's heart and just.
Can I grab the stake out of Nero's heart?
You absolutely do.
Yeah.
And as you do so, I mean,
And
Damien
he says,
sees you do it.
Stakey, wakey, wakey.
That's fucking creepy. And as you do so, Damien quietly just kind of pulls it out. Where minute you do so, you see Nero's eyes blink and he immediately sits up and he looks to you with a sense of confusion to see you here. This is a face you recognize. If we've talked, you know who Nero is. And he's like, I never once thought I'd say thank you to Emmy of all people.
You're welcome.
Yeah, he smiles and he gets up and he looks around.
She offers him a hand.
Did Miss Heloise and her coterie make it?
Yeah, we're fine.
He looks and he's like, he looks around to seeing Dakota obviously fucking fighting, and he goes, you should get out while you can. And he looks to make a fucking quick escape. Damien rips it out.
And this all the fun?
As he's like running away.
Out, bro. Is this a musician who wants to play music? He doesn't want to fight.
Yeah, I know.
Meanwhile,
Oh, he's a lover, not a fighter. How cute.
As you pull the stake from Bella, you actually, instead of her being sitting up, you actually hear moans of pain as she goes to reach over where those veins have now spread across half of her torso, and they are throbbing and pulsing. Dakota, what are you doing?
It's a great question.
You're on top.
Do I have the upper hand?
Oh yeah, you're winning the grapple. So she's gonna try to get out while you're gonna do what you're gonna do and see whoever wins.
Oh, she's gonna try to get out. Yeah. I see Damien pull the stake. I think my goal is to hold her. And I look at Damien and I go, "Can I borrow that?"
All right. Make me a strength brawl while she's trying to break out of your strength brawl.
Good luck. And I get the +1 for grapple. Actually, you know what?
Wait,
This.
who is Dakota attacking right now?
Sienna.
I'm on top
Sienna.
of Sienna.
Oh God. Okay.
She's been holding her down. She dive bombed him.
Yeah,
Holding her
she
down.
Okay.
tumbled on the ground, wham, slammed her into
Got
the
it.
ground and held her there.
Strength brawl, you said. And I have a
Yeah.
+1 for the specialty in grappling. I got a 5.
Pretty good.
Did you want to reroll 2 of those? You can reroll 2. See if you can add more.
Yeah, I haven't used my willpower. I used the bird's willpower. So why not? Worth
more.
it.
So
Wow.
5, 6,
Make
7
it
total.
7.
And then hers is going to be...
There's no way.
Unless Sienna isn't Sienna.
Oh my God.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's a
Suck.
moment where as you like slam her onto the ground, she actually resists with surprising strength, lifting herself off maybe an inch off the floor before you slam her to the ground again, cracking the marble tiled floor underneath. And you just see like she's fighting as best she can. Damien on his turn runs over. Well, he can run over. It'll take a turn to hand it over or whatever, or he can throw it to you, but you have to make a test.
Can he
to
not
touch it.
stack? Can I not hold her and he stab her? Yeah.
You could, but
I'm
he's
kind of like, hey, hello.
So you actually see him wavering at the moment because he's actually like standing over guard of Bella at
If
the
he
moment.
wavers, can I just go stab her?
Yeah, you could actually just take the stake from Damien and make your
Yeah,
way
if
over.
you're
my own
nearby,
stake.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
have my own stake
So
from
you're
Nero.
gonna need me to, oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. You have your own stake. So you go ahead and take the stake, and what you need to make is a dexterity, no, it's a strength brawl, but you're making a called shot. Usually it's a penalty, but she's being pinned down, so she's not really that hard to hit. So I don't think there'll be much of a penalty, just a strength brawl.
Can I rouse to
Yeah,
get
absolutely.
extra
You
dice
can
for
always
that?
do
Okay.
a rouse check for that. So you had 2d10.
Strength brawl +2. 4. And I can willpower.
Yeah, I think a
The
called shot.
1.
Yeah, you can only
Or
reroll
no?
one of those.
A called shot is -2.
Yep. -2, yeah. So
If it's
That's it.
called,
You only
and
reroll
that's, I
one?
guess that's,
successes. But isn't there a success minimum she has to meet, or is it just any?
I don't know how that works because
That's
she's
what I was
being
looking at.
held down, so
Yeah.
she can't really move
No, she's
unless
not
she
gonna
has
take a penalty
yeah.
to that for sure. No, you holding her down.
I don't know what it is to get through, say,
Because it's like,
you know,
depending
just
on where you're aiming, it can matter, blah, 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 close, grappling, whatever. Ranged combat, called shots, here we go. Yeah, -2, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, I'll just reroll.
Okay, no, it just says up to the storyteller.
No,
So
didn't get a success anyways.
it's fine. 4 successes. You kind of like run over as quickly as you can as you see Dakota for a moment struggling with Sienna as Sienna's like doing her best to like rip her arms off. But before she can get much, we see as you walk over, Emmy quickly with both her hands just kind of runs over and just with 2 hands throws a stake. You hear it pierce through the chest, and her resistance immediately stops as she falls dead. Or not falls
And
dead.
I think
falls in
Emmy just says, "Sleepy time."
And
as soon as
open
she
out the
goes
gate,
like, yeah,
just looks
as soon as she
awkward.
goes limp, I give like a very like sisterly kiss, like praise, thank you, Emmy, on the cheek, and I turn with great ferocity to Damon. I'm like,
Get Bella out of here.
He's already, you see him like helping her up as he's like about to pick her up. And you see as at that moment, as pale as she is, she looks like a corpse now. The veins continue to crawl up her neck and she starts wailing in pain. But Damien does not stand around. He just simply picks her up and he's about to head out. But before we do, there's still other things happening. As you whip to the rest of the crowd, Ollie, you're the only one that's going to be around that can do this for me. I need a wits awareness.
Sure. We'll give it a shot. 4 successes.
And over by one of the exits, you actually had a few people making their way out. Maybe the last 2 is one's limping, looking like they're hurt, being carried by somebody, maybe one of their friends. The way they're bleeding, it's likely a ghoul or a mortal that's on their way out, with the assistance of likely another ghoul. And as they're making their way out the door, you actually see, just as the door is about to shut, they get stopped by somebody. And there's a moment where as the door shuts, you don't see anything. And as the moment passes, the door opens, and now they're both walking back in, with one has a knife and another has a gun. And they are looking, the one that was wounded doesn't look like they're limping anymore. Though they're still bleeding. They're still wounded. Hasn't been cured. Clearly,
These are Camarilla members.
They're ghouls of Camarilla members, probably.
Ghouls of
Yes,
Camarilla
like I said,
members.
they're bleeding, so they're mortal or ghouls. Both of them are. And it's just they were leaving as they were wounded, trying to get the hell out. You saw some girl lean in, and the door shut, and then a few moments later, the door opened, and just the 2 of them walked back in with weapons that they didn't have a moment ago.
And they're no longer limping.
The one's not limping anymore, and they're actually moving in toward what you see is one of the just Camarillas moving in toward the where most of the action is happening, where the Toreadors were hanging out.
Okay, so the Toreadors seem to be a bit of a primary focus here for a variety of reasons. Have they taken notice of me?
No, not yet, not right now, no. And it's just not just that. The Anarchs have arrived as well, though they're fighting. They seem to be taking in the chaos. A lot of their targets aren't there, but they're still moving in on unrestricted Camarilla targets the best they can. However, again, all this is supposed to only take place over the course of 5 minutes. We're probably halfway through the action at this point. And the Gangrel have arrived as well, and they've formed a perimeter around Bella. I imagine on the orders of like Dakota would have had them in the chaos. Plans change.
yeah, look, if
Guard
they
duty.
show up,
Oh, they
she
do.
stands and she says, "Do we back down from a fight?" And I imagine there's like a
Yeah.
resounding no, and she's like,
Protect your
You
elders.
probably stand up from having Sienna staked, and you
I
see them all
pick. She's
pouring in.
limp. I have her by the neck, and she's limp in
Yeah.
my hands.
And with that roar, a few of them that's like grunts. A few of them just silently walk off. A small perimeter is formed around Damien as he picks up Prince Bella and starts to make his way out. However,
Let me ask you real quick.
Yeah.
The 2 that kind of walked by, did they look like rosy cheeked?
like they're a lot like mortal.
Yeah,
Yes,
they do look mortal.
yes, they're either ghouls or they're mortals, one or the other.
They're ghouls or they're mortals.
And the ghouls look like mortals. That's the thing. They have rosy cheeks. They are alive. Like they're not dead.
Do I know? I'm trying to place whether or not these are ghouls of Camarilla adjacent,
Make me
or if they're
Make me an intelligence resolve check to see if you can pull any memories of like if you know
Sure.
these faces.
It's not a strong roll for me, but it's not my worst. I got 2 successes.
2 successes. They definitely look familiar. And as you run through you're not sure who they belong to specifically, but you know they belong to some Ventru. They're Ventru ghouls, both of them.
I'm gonna move to them, but I'm gonna try to like use. It's difficult for me to hide, right? Like hiding's hard when you're the size of a truck. So he's just gonna kind of use the current fray to see what their actions are. If they take a hostile action against a fellow Camarilla member, he's just gonna fold them like laundry.
Absolutely. Just like, and you're dead. Do you give them an opportunity? Like if they raise their gun, do you move in before they can pull the trigger kind of thing?
Definitely.
Okay. As they move in toward the what's left of the scrap, they're not actually the first people they target is a Camarilla member. I mean, is an Anarch member.
Okay. Well, Dakota looks fine, right? She looks all right.
She's standing up and commanding the gangrel in this moment to defend your elders.
And Emmy is just fine.
She's right next to them.
I just staked Sienna.
Yeah, she just staked Sienna, so she's right next to Dakota. Jackson is gone. Ballard is gone. As you look around, if you're trying to look to confirm, like
We don't see Ava because Ava's
Snitch?
still on the outside. Right?
you don't see Snitch anywhere.
Other Primogen members?
Precious.
So you don't see Cretius. However, you do see Deucible fighting an Anarch member.
I'm
In
going
fact,
there.
he's fighting 2 Anarch members.
That's my goal right there.
Okay.
I'm gonna go defend Deucible.
So you walk over and there's 2 Anarchs kind of fighting with Deucible as Deucible's holding his own rather well. As you
Yes.
come up behind, are you sneaking? Are you trying to come up without being noticed?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Dexterity stealth.
Okay. That's not a terrible roll for me. Dex. 3 successes.
And with 3 successes, they don't notice as you're approaching. You just pick one of the 2 of them and make a swing.
Yeah. Fist of Cain is still active. It's active for the entire scene.
Okay.
Brawl. Strength. Not riding the wave anymore. 7 successes.
Wow.
Plus whatever Fist is
Ooh,
going to do.
crit.
So it's the same
Yeah,
as...
absolutely.
Yeah.
So you just, where are you aiming? Head?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just head.
And just like before, it's simple and not graceful or anything. The fist just collides and careens through the skull. Teeth spit forward, colliding into Deucible's was clean, his blood on it at this point anyway, suit. And the kindred dusts before you as the other one whips around. And as the other one whips around to fight you, Deucible takes the opportunity. And with the cane and a quick incantation, you just see a small fire catch where he touches the cane, and you see the skin of this particular kindred slowly smolder and flame as he screams in pain before he collapses to dust in front of you. He quickly looks down, he's like, "Thank you, friend."
Careful. And then he moves.
And as you move, and you whip around, you actually do see Snitch. He wasn't in the main room, but he's seemingly over in the back area where the door leads into a kitchen. And you see him in that moment, fighting. You're not quite sure who, as it's just through the slot of the kitchen door, but there is active fighting. You haven't seen Snitch fight before, and the glimpses you get of it is not him being elegant, but very matter of fact, patient, almost like a monk, awaiting for the person to make their moves and him reading them like the book that they are.
I mean, he's a Primogen. He can hold his own.
Okay.
He's proved that much over time.
So you look around then and see the rest. Dakota having commanded the gangrel, and at this point, as you kind of look around, the combat around you begins to subside. It becomes clear the Anarchs lose a couple members. One gets dusted, one gets staked and left behind. That's their cue to get the hell out of there. Again, the important members that you didn't want to die, like Jackson and so on, are long gone. Within those, as you look around to kind of take the stakes of those who have died, again, maybe to the best or even best ending for you. Yeah, Camarilla died, but nobody that fucking mattered to the plan. It succeeded in making Bella look weak. Even if the Sabbat threw a kink into it, she certainly got hit first. Her security wasn't tight enough. Something was wrong. But as everything begins to come to a close and calm, Damien begins to walk away. And as he does so, you hear him go, "What the fuck?" as he turns. And you watch in his arms as those black veins begin to burst and Bella dusts in Damien's arms. Not much can be done before the clattering of combat can be heard as well, spilling out of the kitchen where you saw Snitch. He stumbles back as an individual who steps up, and you watch as their right arm and shoulder crack and change, and as it throws forward and grabs Snitch by the neck. Snitch struggles and he fights, but he can't do anything before another snap. And Snitch's head is torn from its body. The individual makes a run for it.
I follow.
I was about to say, I'm hot on his
no way.
trail.
Ava, the door bursts open. An individual with an arm that was clearly at least malformed is quickly snapping back into a normal shape, and they look behind themselves and they sprint out the front door as fast as they fucking can. Within a few seconds, in tow following, Ollie and Dakota fly out along with Emmy, or does Emmy stay behind?
Yeah, Emmy will follow.
And with Emmy. So the three of them burst through, clearly chasing
If
the
I see
individual.
Ollie running, I'll follow.
You leave the gangrel to fend for themselves, Dakota? You trust them well enough?
I mean, if I see everybody else running after this guy, then I will stay with the gangrel. If like they're running after the guy, there's no need for me to support Ollie in that regard.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll stay and finish off every Anarch.
Yep.
And every Sabbat. If there's a Sabbat left, they are, yeah. And that Bruja just for good measure too, because he stabbed Moon.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Fuck him.
I also would like to stay to see the aftermath of what just happened.
Emmy, are you going with Ollie or are you staying?
Yeah, I'll follow. If I see Ollie, I'll follow after him.
Okay. Ollie, you take off running into the streets. You burst through the door and you can see them.
If everything else is looking calm, right? That's what you're saying.
Yes, the combat is subsiding at this point. The Anarchs have pulled back. They've made their strike, hit the few people that they could, even if their plans were thrown. And the Sabbat, at least those that were around, have either been put down or left, having taken clearly about 4 targets they had in mind, at least from there. You don't know where Cretius was and what happened to him at this point. So it begins to calm down. Ollie takes off and begins to run, chasing this individual. Ollie, are you doing anything in particular to follow them? Or are you like on the street level, like behind them?
I just witnessed the closest thing that I have to a teacher just get murdered.
Yep.
Yeah, this guy, there's no way. Unless he suddenly has celerity, I am leaping tall hose to get this guy.
Yeah, but you're not invisible. You're not invisible as you do
No.
so. Okay. As you are like running, they actually look behind, and in the chaos,
Tom
of it all-
Cruise running.
Yeah, really. And actually, as you watch, as you run and you're chasing them, you're keeping up rather well until you realize, until for a moment, not like they break away and you don't see them. You watch as their legs, muscles get more defined, and they begin to grow a little longer, and their gait becomes to be a little bit faster as they slowly begin to pull away from you. Unless you make a jump attack right now in the middle of everything.
I will. I
Feel
will.
free.
I'll deal about the breach
Go
later.
ahead. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead and give me,
what would you like?
First, make me a dexterity athletics check.
Sure. Yeah, again, that's not horrible for me.
No, because I
thank
think athletics is strength based. Yeah.
God. Athletics
it's like
is
separate.
Yeah,
It's like a
correct,
skill.
it's separate.
Yeah. But
It's a
it's
skill.
oh yeah, no, right. I'm thinking about D&D.
I'll willpower that.
Yeah.
If you want, he can roll dexterity or
3
athletics
successes.
strength.
Let me make a roll. What is theirs? Okay. Yeah, that's right. But that's going to go to that. 1, 2. Also 3 successes. So no leeway, or you're keeping up. Even if they begin to pick up pace, you realize it, and you start to do exactly that. Leap up to the buildings, taking shortcuts around corners because you can leap over them instead of having to walk around them. And many a time you hear, "Holy shit! Did you see that?" As people are, freaking out. You can make me one more Dex Athletics. You can rouse the blood to add 2 to this. Keep that in mind.
I will.
No hunger increase.
Dex Athletics. Four
Beautiful roll.
successes.
3 successes. So you beat me by 1. And you make enough leeway to make an attempt at pinning this person. Strength brawl.
Okay.
Because you're leaping, and this is the leap to catch up and land on them.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're not trying to splat them in front of like 100 civilians.
No, but I you know what? I can't stop what's coming.
Sure,
right?
sure,
If it happens.
But if you're making the intention not to splatter them all over the place.
Oh, but if I can just break him a lot, that'd be neat.
Sure. Critical, so a
willpower.
total of 6, and you can willpower 3.
Damn.
And
7.
you still have Fist of Cain on?
Yeah, it's for until you say the scene is over.
Yeah, this whole thing is the same scene as far as I'm concerned. Okay, their defense is minimized a little bit, but not by too much. Yeah.
Wow.
As you see them rip around a corner, you make the decision. I'm gonna just kitty corner this. I'm making a leap, and I should be at least next to them. And as you make that leap, soaring through the air, hearing the shouts of some civilians behind you, you actually lock eyes with them. And as you're coming down, able to adjust your landing as little as you can, enough to land into them, and you hear the collapsing cracking of their entire rib cage and chest as it falls inward, sending them immediately into a torpor as you do enough damage to do so. As you land on the ground, the concrete underneath you cracks. You actually skid a good 6 inches or so, and people around you, most scatter. A couple people whip out their cell phones.
Can I?
It's like you're catching up. It's like make me.
Can
give me
I do
Dex,
awe and get the attention on me?
Yeah, give me a Dex Athletics check first to whip around the corner in time.
Yeah. And before I left, when I was running, like before I leaped and chased Ollie, I would have said to Damien,
keep an eye on Sienna. We need answers.
He just gives you a curt nod as
because I don't want someone else to
like the Prince
her.
Dustin in his arms. So,
so you want me to do dexterity? What? Athletics. All right. Ooh, I want to rouse first, so I get some extra dice. Athletics, dexterity.
wow,
5. That's not bad.
Not at all. So as you're running, you see Ollie leap. He doesn't give you a warning. He might even know that you're following him. He's just dead set on this individual and not letting them get away. As you see him up, you're like, fuck, you can't do that. But you can cut through an alleyway if you need to. And as long as there's not too many people there, you might be able to get out there in time. With 5 successes, you do. You get there as the little skid on the ground comes to a close, and as people are scattering, and just as people are reaching for their phones.
I would like to do awe and try to get attention on me.
It's a passive, so you don't have to roll to activate it. You just make me a manipulation persuasion with your present score added to that roll.
Manipulation persuasion. Interesting.
Because you're using awe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you're trying to do something else, like scare them. But you're
No,
trying
I'm
to
not trying to
persuade them
scare
to
them.
walk away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Rolls. That's better.
Yeah, take that success. That's nice. That double roll. I like
Yeah,
that.
being able to double roll is nice. Manipulation plus persuasion. So I get the 2 plus the additional dice for the other thing you want me to add, the presence.
Yep.
All right.
Oh
Oh my god, I rolled
Unfortunate.
so bad.
You can roll
I rolled-
3. I mean, 3 is still good for mortals.
Holy.
Like, keep in mind, these are mortals you're
Power.
dealing with, but you critted.
Oh,
That's the
huge.
reason.
Hey, crit it.
So,
Yeah.
Oh my
you
god,
see it,
that's what was
and
my
as you
rolls
run,
today?
as you're running over, and they're like three people or so are about to pull out their cell phones, and he like runs into the center. Is like, wait, I imagine, or something. Like, what does Amy do? How does she stop these people from pulling out their phones?
She's just look what I can do and just starts dancing.
Aww.
It's like they immediately go film her.
Yeah.
I think that she acts like she's injured.
Yep, and so
So
all
she
three
like
of them will
she
be
like she like cracks her like leg like
oh, yikes.
makes it like nasty. Yeah. And she's like,
Oh no, someone help me.
And all 3 of them with that roll and with awe on, they're like, oh my god, we get this little girl. Quick, come with us. Come on. Let's get you out of the streets. Let's, get you over by the bus stop over there.
yeah, and her legs like
and they pull you away, giving Ollie an opportunity.
The enemy thinks free dinner.
Giving Ollie an opportunity to.
Actually, I am pretty hungry.
What do you want to do with this individual? Are you taking them with you or are you killing them?
I am gonna make sure that I can pull their crumpled body behind the dumpster.
Yeah, you absolutely can. I mean,
I don't know anything about, like, do I recognize this individual in their torpid state?
No. You never met the freedom fighters.
All right. Well, knowing what happens when you sever a body part, I'm gonna rip off his legs and his arms.
Okay, they dust.
And then I am going to treat his body as an inanimate object, and I'm gonna invis back.
Just like
carry him back.
Oh, okay. You just gotta grab him,
carry him by the hair.
Yeah. Some massive damage done to that individual. Give me when you're ripping off the legs. What's awareness?
Sure. I hate this, Mathis.
I know. Every time.
Like wits awareness for everything.
This is why I turn into a bird.
It's this game's perception check.
I've got 3 will left, so I'm gonna go ahead and use it. So
yeah,
for
2.
Do it. I just have 3 successes.
When you rip the leg off and to kind of like toss it to the ground, with 3 successes, you hear like a metallic tink on the ground from the pocket of the pants on one of the 2 legs.
What's left in the pants?
Yeah.
What is it?
You go looking, you go rifling in their pocket, you pull out a syringe.
A syringe?
With a thick, black, viscous liquid stewing inside of it.
I leave that in his pants pocket, and that's going to be something interesting that I can pass off.
Uh-huh.
You pick him up, and you invisibly walk away.
I do. I've got to rouse for it, but there we go. I'm at 3 hunger.
After you sate all these people's, oh, I'm all better, and whatnot, do you head back as well, or are you kind of like is everybody going to reconvene?
I will rationalize what they saw for them.
Make me a roll.
Yeah.
You will have to make like a difficulty check because they're mortals. They will just believe it, but you do need to rouse check.
Okay, I will rouse check for that.
Okay.
Oh, no matter what.
Yep, you're at 3 hunger, no matter what, but that's fine.
All
it's very easy. Look them all in the eye. You simply just say what happened. They fucking believe you, and they leave. Preventing.
Can I eat them?
Yeah, you could grab one and eat them. Absolutely.
Okay.
You're at what? Hunger 3, so you won't risk. You're not risking a frenzy. You can just feed 2, and you'll be good.
Okay. Cool. And then I'll go back.
Yeah, but as you drink this blood, and while it's something maybe not to think about in the moment, you're immediately reminded how disgusting all this tastes compared to Fey blood. But that's a concern for another time. Ollie is making his way back.
Oh, actually, I have I don't think I can feed on them because neither of them are close to death.
Yep.
Right. Isn't that like my bane?
Wait, yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Because I'm a Grim Reaper.
Yeah. You can't. That's right.
No, never mind.
It's fine. You're out 3 hunger. It's fine. Ollie walks off, and as we crossfade back to Elysium, where everything is silent except for the murmurs of those who are left, the gangrel that are there, Ava, Dakota, Damien, and a couple other Camarilla members.
Is Moon still standing? I know he took a knife to the side.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. You actually
Is the Bruja who put it in his side still there?
He's injured into torpor on the ground, but not dust and dead like the other one was.
Okay, cool. I'll drag his body by the hair alongside Vanessa's out to the middle and just drop it.
Yep.
Plunk.
And as you kind of take in the chaos and what's left, again, a Kindred massacre is kind of clean overall because everybody just turns to fucking dust. Blood doesn't stick around. It doesn't spatter except those of mortal blood, which wasn't much. And as it was all done in about 5 minutes without most of the hotel even understanding what was going on. And as you look around, Damien kind of just steps up to Dakota and Ava, who's there, and just with a confused look go, what the fuck just happened? And as Ava shakes her head, and even Dakota just silently, stoically is probably just trying to take in the situation as to what to do next. We fade to black. We'll be back next time, everybody. Goodbye.
Dang, so much happened.
Cool.
Oh my goodness.
Feeling great about this. Feeling great.
Yeah.
We're off to do an after show, everybody.
If the Sabbat think they're getting away with this, they have another thing coming.
Well, a little more than half of them are still. No, only 2 of them technically got away, I think. The other 3, one's in captivity, the other 2 are dead, I think. Either
Well,
way,
and
we're off.
Sabbat are like, they just don't care about the organization as a whole. Yeah.
Well, they're going to care about this organization called the Gangrel coming to their front door.
They're gonna have a problem with the Gangrel now. But either way,
Yep.
we're off
Maybe
to
I'll
the
have to come back
after
as Bass.
Yeah.
We'll be back the next. I think we're back next week. We'll figure it out. But
Mhm.
just keep an eye on our socials and stuff. Thank you.